and welcome back, my most intrepid of adventurers. Last we left off, we found the illustrious masks of Ember continuing their deep dive into the tangled political web within the city of Baldur's Gate. Within the city, our party awakening on their only second day, they found themselves immediately thrust into a complicated cavalcade of relationships. Heading down to the Eastway expeditions, the Masks of Ember began the painstaking task of getting themselves hired onto various cabins heading north in but a couple of days, quickly following the trail of the Cult of the Dragon, hopefully to wherever their destination may lie. However, after getting hired on by an eclectic group of merchants and travelers and traders and scoundrels, for lack of a better term, our party found themselves continuing their investigations. Tense conversations were had as the party began to try to unravel this complicated lattice of lies and deceit. However, the party decided to head first to the upper city, thinking that perhaps the nobles there may be able to shed some light on Lazara Castellanta and some of the other strange goings-on within the city. While heading towards the upper city, our party found themselves in a large crowd outside of this anonymous Baldur's Gate leading from the lower city into the upper city. Whilst trying to push through the crowd towards the gate, however, our very own Rail, continuing his trademark streak of bad luck, found himself stabbed in the ribs by a strange assailant in the crowd. The populace around him then began to panic, quickly calmed by the ever-watchful presence of the Flaming Fist. The Flaming Fist then took Rail to the side to investigate further this horrific crime which had been committed in broad daylight in the center of the city itself. However, as the rest of the party followed behind, they quickly realized that something perhaps was amiss. The Flaming Fist revealed themselves to not be members of the mercenary company of Baldur's Gate, but in fact, Reapers of Baal, the Lord and God of Murder himself, talking how the job could not be finished properly by one of their associates. Our party quickly dived into battle with the, for lack of a better term, insane cultists of Baal. However, as the battle began to turn in the tide and in the favor of our party, the cultists pulled back, leaving only one of themselves behind, who, after some interrogation, or attempts at interrogation, disappeared just like the others. The party, taking a sigh of relief, were quickly greeted by the presence of other members of the Flaming Fist. Now distrustful, however, the party gave them the cold shoulder and left them to their attempted investigation and continued on their way into the upper city. Which is where we find ourselves now. Jumping back in, you all find yourselves once again within the grandiose surroundings of the upper city. You guys can again see the neatly arranged terrace houses, the sort of Baldurian architecture on full display at this point. You can see the sort of like white painted brick and the red sort of like slate roofs. You can hear the sounds of workers slowly rebuilding the losses from the absolute crisis months before. You can hear the sounds of the Wide, and as you round the corner and head into the upper city proper, you find the Wide glowing in the soft amber light of the late afternoon. You see the marble colonnades and the bright awnings touched by the low sun. The Wide, the day prior, had been transformed into somewhat of a political spectacle, where Duke Lazara Castellanta gave his acceptance speech and the nobles fawned over their new leader. However now, a new breath of life has been breathed into the upper city. After the feverish chaos of election night, the marketplace seems to have found a second wind in a way. This time, not shouting or fighting or celebrating, but quiet dignity, word of Lazarus Castellan has quickly spread and swept through the upper city proper like a cleansing wind, and now the nobles and merchants of Baldur's Gate are out in force, basking in the golden light of the late afternoon and the beauty of consumerism. You guys can still see bright ribbons of Lazarus campaign colors hanging from awnings and balconies, fluttering above the crowded square, the air humming with cheerful noise, the clink of coin, laughter, and lifting tunes of minstrels perched on barrels. Below you, you can see the paving cobblestones polished to a gorgeous marvel, freshly washed of last night's grime. Those scraps of old broadsheets still swirl in the breeze like forgotten promises. You can see the trademark symbols of Siamor, goddess of nobility, the campaign slogans, "Take back the gate," Lazaro's ever vigilant phrase. As you guys look around you now, you can see stalls glittering with goods meant to impress the new age. You see gnomish tinkerers setting up small displays of clockwork birds that seem to shout out campaign phrases. You can see a dwarven smith offering ornate silver brooches shaped like the city's crest, freshly polished and blessed for luck in a new dawn. You see several allotments of fine imported silks from Arm and Kalimshan. You can smell gorgeously cooked and seasoned eels and sweet almond cakes wafting from food stalls. In one corner, you see the Flaming Fist drinking with a small group of merchants, an unfamiliar sight of camaraderie, suggesting that at least for now in the upper city, order and prosperity walk hand in hand. Towards the center of the large marketplace, a bard sings a tune in celebration of Lazaro. Yet amid the bustle, it's hard to ignore the glint of reality, whispers of opportunity. Beneath the banners and cheers, deals are already being struck quietly. New contracts, quiet bribes, and the inevitable promises of what this better tomorrow might yet cost, and what may be gained from it. So you guys venture into the wide. Still breathing deeply from your battle with the Baal cultists, I ask you, what would you all like to do?
So are we still planning to go see where Rana got taken from? Is it safe to go back there?
So we were going to investigate it.
Yeah.
Right. Urael, it only seems fair that you lead the way on this one, I think.
Alright, I'll take us there. And, yeah.
I've got your back.
Can we be disguised somehow? Can we even do that?
Not sure about that. But, yeah, let's go and take a look. Just return to the scene of the crime.
You guys wind your way through the wide and make your way towards the northwestern corner of the city. You can see high behind the setting sun, high hall glimmering white marble and cerulean blue colonnades. You quickly find yourselves in quieter circumstances as you sort of like begin to wind through the various streets. You quickly find yourselves in front of the three old kegs. Rael, as you sort of like look over at the reasonably finely made establishment, the sort of like marble awnings and sort of like porch coming outwards, you can see there's a few people inside. The doors are open, the windows are open. People seem to be chatting much quieter than last night. There's still paraphernalia of Lazaro's sort of campaign littering the floor, sort of like graffitied on walls everywhere. As you sort of wind your way into the adjacent streets, you quickly find yourself in a familiar alleyway, Rail.
Well, we're here. So...
You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine. They were up there, and I'm just going to point into all the different locations of where I did spot people on the roofs, give everyone a laydown of exactly the position that I was standing in, where we started, where I fell, everything from start to finish.
Incredible. Everybody go ahead and roll me a perception check, please.
With disadvantage?
You can see remnants of Rail's like gooey eyeball.
I got a nat 20 and a 14, so that is an 18.
I got a
How
7.
are you so good at perception with one eye?
don't
You
know
keep
how it's
rolling better
working.
than the
He
rest
had
of us.
one bad eye to begin with. One eye
Yeah.
was weaker, one eye
Oh,
was
he
That
lost
stronger.
a
actually
bad
fixed
eye.
him. That actually
lost
fixed
a
him.
bad eye.
Maybe I've just gotten sharper.
Yeah.
It
Wow.
is true. If you lose,
You were not meant to see in 3D.
I'm pretty sure if you
As
use one
you guys
sense,
sort of like
you're
take a
get
scope
stronger.
of your surroundings, you quickly sort of like see how this in particular seems to be the prime sort of circumstances for an ambush. This is sort of like this end of the upper city seems to be one of the ones that's suffered more severely from the absolute crisis. It seems like these are sort of like upper middle class homes that maybe haven't had the rush to be repaired. Some of the larger sort of noble villas towards the sort of like south west of the town have. Rather, this is more of a building site, as it were. The houses and the bones are there, but it doesn't seem as though any of them have existing inhabitants in currently. You can see that the street is sort of like tightly packed, only about 15 feet across. You sort of look up towards the rooftops. I'll say Rael, Serena, Vilka, and Kyra, you guys sort of like can see the pincer point that Rael and Renar would have found themselves in. And I'll say Nebulon, not sort of like looking outwards. You quickly sort of like focus your eyes on the pool of dried blood on the cobblestones. That stark contrast to what was in the wide, where the cobblestones had been polished to absolute perfection following the rally the day before. This place still bears a sort of like signs of the attack from the night before.
I think what Nebulon's going to do is he's going to sort of crouch down by the dried blood. He's going to scrape it a little bit, and then as he's sort of like moving it in between his fingers, he's going to look over to Kyra. Kyra, could I borrow you for a second?
Of course. What is it? And she'll walk over.
Right. I don't know much about where you studied, but are you able to alleviate stress by casting spells more over time?
I'd
Almost
say
like
so.
a ritual. Because I have something that I've been able to re-pick back up, if you will. I might be able to detect essence of magic, but I may need about 10 minutes. Is there anything else that you can do to try to figure this out? If you could do that, I have something else instead. I just wanted to coordinate this with you a little bit.
Let me look. I'm actually gonna look at my spellbook right now and see what I have.
Is that all right?
Just to ask DM, is that my blood?
Yes,
I
you would
thought so.
assume so. Speaking of which, Rael, roll me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, for the love of
I've
me.
got. So as of right now, and I'm not saying this in character, I've got like minor illusion, detect magic, identify, as like, and like find familiar and stuff as, you know, ritual spells.
That's a 10, by the way, DM.
I could possibly, in this situation, the only thing I could think is use detect magic.
In that
See
case,
if there's.
well, if you also have the ability to harness your magic, if you want to use it on the ground, I have an idea what I can do above. You take it down here, I'll go up there. I have an idea.
All right, and and she'll like get Leor's attention. I have. It's a rare occasion, but some wizards would use their familiars to find things other than magical things through scent.
They still have
if
my
he's
great
willing.
by the way.
I'm sorry. We'll get it back.
We will, and to find it easier, I might have an idea of what I can. Maybe it's for later.
Cool.
Kyra's
Let's go ahead
I'll-
and move down. Nebulon, what would you like to do?
I think at that point I'll look, try to find some sort of way how to gain access to the roof if I can, over where that.
Roll me
paint's,
just roll me a raw perception check.
Cool. Much better this time. 17 plus 6. No, perception plus 5. That's 22.
Incredible. As you sort of like scan the like surrounding buildings, you quickly find that towards the back of one of the buildings, adjacent from the actual alleyway itself, there's a small sort of like fire escape style thing that leads up to the second floor balcony. I'll say that as you sort of climb up, you pull yourself onto the roof, and something that immediately catches your attention is it appears as though there are remnants of people spending a decent amount of time here. You can see sort of like discarded sort of like crumbs of bread, what appears to be a can of like rations like open and sort of like left on the rooftop itself.
Interesting.
Rail, how do you think they knew that you would be here, you and Renar? Do you think the guy who told you to come here set you up?
Honestly, there could be so many different options. We're in Baldur's Gate. There are eyes everywhere. There are ears in the smallest of cracks. I wouldn't even be able to begin to pin down why.
Someone could have overheard
As
it.
I
but
hear this, I'm gonna say, Rael, you're a genius. At which point I'll quickly look on the rooftop for any birds that may be nesting and roosting.
Roll me an investigation check.
And I will say Kyra will probably be working on a detect magic
13.
to possibly get a trail if someone had a magical item on them, and then possibly have Lior sniff around to see if he can pick up anything, like Renar's scent or anything.
So
Roll me an investigation check for Lior. Are you casting detect magic, Kyra?
As a ritual, yes.
Cool, brilliant. So let's go with Nebulon first. Nebulon.
13.
What was your investigation for 13? Cool.
That's a
As you start
12.
to look around. Brilliant. In particular, this roof appears to be one of the sort of like less well-maintained ones. It appears as though like the bones of scaffolding have been put in, and the first half it's been like covered in slate. But it doesn't take long for you to make your way over to a small chimney that's like half built, and you sort of look inside, and you can see that there appears to be a sort of hastily made bird's nest. You get the impression that maybe pigeons or some kind of like lower intelligence avian creature, but the thing that really catches your eye is the fact that the 3 pigeons that are inside of it have all been slaughtered and are lying dead.
That is a pity. I guess, at that point, as the sort of shock takes hold that they've been slaughtered, I will attempt to analyze the wounds if I can and see what may have slaughtered these pigeons.
Roll me either medicine or nature, depending on if you're looking for the creature or sort of like the way that they died.
I think what he would do at this point would look for the creature. That would be his instinct from his
Roll me
training.
a
I
nature
think.
check.
Yeah. Natural 20.
Cool.
I'll take that.
The first thing that catches your eye is, while the scene looks very gory, the wound itself is very clean. As you sort of like take one of the pigeons sort of like tenderly in your hand, it's a direct and quick slice to the sort of like carotid artery on the pigeon's neck. You can see the blood and it looks very clean, not from a blade, but from a claw of a somewhat intelligent creature. On a natural 20, if you had to guess, maybe a crow or a raven or a larger sort of like bird.
Interesting. At that point, then, I suppose I'll continue my investigation onto the roof. I'll keep a note of that, but I will try to find any other sort of nestled bird nests around to see if the same thing has occurred across the 2 different rooftops.
Cool. Moving
You need
over
help
to
up
you,
there?
Kyra. So I'll say, as Lior starts to sort of like sniff around, he's sort of like going around the blood, the sort of like making the like wide circle of the general trail. You see the sort of like fox beginning to like wind its way through and try and pick up some kind of scent or anything like that. And you complete your detect magic ritual. There's nothing immediate that catches your attention, and as you sort of like cast out this ethereal web, you begin to see ding, 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 far off vibrations in the very foundations of the weave itself. And then something catches your eye. Directly above you, specifically Rail, there's a larger and closer vibration. The way it sort of like moves the web of the weave leads you to believe there's an active divination spell on this place.
That's not good. And she will, I suppose, wait for Nebulon to get back.
Not gonna tell us.
Or Or
Nebulon, as you I'll say on your natural 20 moving forward from there, as you sort of like move around the other 2 rooftops that are sort of like adjacent to this alleyway in particular, you find a very familiar scene in almost all of them.
Like all
I'll
the
then head
stuff?
back down. Since there's no specific birds there, all have been absolutely obliterated. I will head down and I'll just have a bit of a gaunt look to my face.
and
Well,
What did you find?
That's nothing good. Whoever they were, they must have stayed there quite a while. A lot of evidence of discarded food. And one thing that was interesting, going off your idea, Rail, I was trying to maybe speak to some of the local birds. I could do that, but unfortunately, they're all dead. Slaughtered
just
by
dead?
some sort of, I don't know,
Oh.
something that is precise yet intelligent. Yet it is a creature of some sort. It bewilders me, I think.
and
Familiar, maybe?
Possibly, I'm not sure.
possibly,
Well, I was stuck in place. I presume that's some kind of wizard or...
Possibly.
yes.
What kind of people were there? You said there was an orc, right?
Yeah,
And-
to be fair, I only remember the orc. Everyone was mostly clad in dark black clothes, and I didn't... It went too quickly. But
That
yeah, the
someone
orc,
used
definitely.
magic?
And
yeah.
speaking of wizards and wizard school, above you, Rail, and she'll point to where she sees the pulse of magic. Divination.
And as you say that, you feel the spell come to an end as the weave goes flat.
What
Wait.
did you find?
Well, that explains a lot.
Well, divination magic. Right above you.
Someone looking at us?
Ooh, what does that mean? So they were watching me?
Yes.
Did it follow him or the place?
Him, the place itself.
But did it move when he moved?
It's mostly around the place itself.
Did you feel anything
Really?
different, Rail?
No, not at all. I don't feel a
Definitely
thing.
looking for you.
But
Wonderful.
this is bad, though, because...
And as you're having this conversation, Lior sort of like runs over towards you, Kyra, sort of like pulls on the edge of your robes to pull you into,
Yes, lovely.
into a direction further down the alleyway.
He's caught something.
With her.
Thank you, buddy. And she'll just.
Guys,
He
this,
sort of
Pick him up.
leads
This is
you
bad.
He only leads you a couple of feet down the alleyway to a sort of collection of crates and barrels that have been sort of like haphazardly left. And he points your direction towards the floor. Something that catches your attention is there appears to be quite a few sort of like discarded cigarette butts that have been sort of like left here. And as you sort of like make that connection with Lior, you get the impression that Lior can smell the scent specifically of death. Not dying or blood, but death.
Like necromancy, sort of.
Corpses.
Oh, shit. Thanks, buddy. Thank you. And she'll just, pet him. I don't know how to put this, but, we can't smell it, but he does. Rotting. Rot.
Rot.
Decay. Death.
From where?
Maybe they had really bad teeth.
And she'll point to the cigarette butts. Right here. I don't know what it is. If it's something dead, I don't want to touch it, but
I mean, they do call them death sticks.
yeah, they do. But still.
Are there any traces of like blood on them or anything, or just?
Can I do again as a ritual detect magic to see if there's anything else?
I'll say
Well,
that your
it lasts
detect
for 10
magic sort of
minutes,
like
right?
extends at it lasts for 10 minutes. So you don't pick up anything direct. There's sort of like magical pings from like far into the city, but nothing in this immediate area.
Okay. So no necromancy, which is good.
Give me a second. I think I've got an idea. I look to the sky and I kind of, as I look at the broad daylight, but I still try and twirl my hand, and then you see like a spectral starlit hand emerge from me as I cast Mage Hand, and I'm going to sort of rifle through the cigarette buds with the Mage Hand. I take a few steps back.
As the hand sort of like stretches out, you see this glistening starlight hand make its way over. It sort of begins to move through this small pile of cigarette butts. What are you looking for?
I'm looking to see if anything triggers, whether or not there's a trap here, or at the very least, just to move things around and ruffle, see if anything falls out.
Nope.
I'd say Kyra's watching too.
Okay. I'll deactivate the Mage Hand. Okay.
As everyone's been looking up high, looking low, Vilka would have just kind of followed a little bit of the trail that Lior made, and specifically he's looking for like how the street is laid out, how the pavement is, and with the little bit maybe of like time he has spent in Baldur's Gate, he's gonna specifically look if there is any like above ground access or places where you could basically disappear very quickly if you're in the street, because we found nothing up high, so let's have a look low.
Incredible. Roll me, I'll say, especially with your prior knowledge of Baldur's Gate, maybe not so much the upper city, roll me either perception or investigation, I'll let you choose.
Okay. I think I'm above, like, I'm just average in both, I think, so... No, actually, I'll go with perception. 17.
17, cool. Strangely enough, Vilka, as you start to look around, you expect there to be some kind of access, maybe into a sewer system or something like that, somewhere where a person could make a quick getaway. You sort of trace the surrounding areas. Not only does it appear as this alleyway is a dead end, there is no visible sewer grates or anything of the like which would allow access under the city. This is one of the least sort of like easily escapable locations. There's no sort of like roof access, and the roofs that are there are all sort of like in the midst of repair. Moving forward will put you on a main street in front of the three old kegs. Any other direction is going to put you into a similar situation.
So we're like just behind the inn, isn't it?
Pretty much. So
And
you're on the street over the road from the inn, just down
Okay.
like a little alleyway.
So there's no cave access to the inn or anything, so nothing, just pavements. Damn.
No. It's strange how little access there is out of this place.
So if they're anything like the people we fought just before, they can turn invisible, right? So
Oh, I definitely
maybe
didn't
they
notice
don't
them,
need
so...
all that extra.
Interesting.
Also, I've just thought of something, guys. If this thing was watching me, we need to be prepared that they also did it while we were finding work. Which
That is
means
true.
they might now... Well, if these are all connected to the Cult of the Dragon, then there's a good chance that they might know as well now.
Whatever
theory on-
reason they are watching for, I would say that if they are trying to keep an eye on us, is they think of us as a threat somehow. I mean, they try to eliminate you twice.
Or they find us interesting.
I'm looking
Or
for Rail.
both.
I have a
They don't
theory
really
on what
care
might
about the
happen
rest of
here.
us, right? So,
I think that if there is little escape opportunity, they didn't try to flee. They simply walked out and blended in. If that is the case, then it might be worth asking people, not trying to investigate here. Witnesses, perhaps. You said they were wearing something distinct, correct?
Very black garb, very into the night kind of assassin stuff. They also, well, the main orc as well. He had some silverish armor with of course, the icon as a necklace around his chest.
Yeah.
It is definitely worth asking some witnesses, I think, and there were quite a few many with a few of us in the room. I mean, it might be worth trying.
And the people in the crowd.
Yes. Let's see.
Do we go
Alright.
back to the keg? See what
Agreed.
type of people there saw something? By the way, does it look
Agreed.
like the blood trail, like has there been any attempt to hide that at all, or does it look like they just left it
It's
all?
just it looks like the pool of blood that sort of like Rail was lying in when Nebulon found him. It's just been left there and dried.
Yeah, so no one came back to try. At least.
Which means
Right,
also
okay.
that if they didn't bother cleaning, either no one comes around here, or no one cares enough, which means there might be no witnesses. I mean,
Could be both.
Nebulon said himself that all the birds were killed. If you ask me, that's going a little bit far, which means they are definitely not amateurs.
DM, with my investigation into those birds specifically, would I have been able to ascertain the reason those birds, like, have the birds been eaten, or is it just they were killed and
They
left
haven't been
for dead?
eaten. It seems like they've been very quickly and efficiently killed.
I agree with what you say there. It seems as if they don't want any witnesses whatsoever. So perhaps the only thing that we have is them just simply leaving the place, not anyone witnessing what happened here. Perhaps it is something that they just walked away. They know the place, they know the streets, they definitely chose the right place for it, so it makes sense to me that they just walked away. I'm just curious to know where they
Or
walked away.
flew.
That
to.
too.
I mean, you said that the pigeons were killed by a bird, no?
I could either ascertain it to be a crow or some sort of large bird, but yes.
People
say
can
so.
turn into large birds, I take it. So,
Oh,
Did they bring Renard with them?
other druids could
True.
do it. Not myself, but yes, in theory that is possible.
Question
Can
is
other
though,
people eat birds?
what other birds, besides, falcons or things of that nature, what other bird would go out of its way to eat another bird? Really?
I think
Unless it
maybe-
was...
any birds of prey.
It was just killed.
Maybe they were
Nothing was
sold
eaten at
too?
all. This was done
Or-
ruthlessly and efficient.
unless it was...
Cadiv,
Never...
DM, I'm gonna look straight up and I'm just gonna see if there are any relatively large birds flying in the area.
I'll say this, Free, as you sort of like look up, it's sort of moving towards twilight now. The sun is setting. There's that sort of like nice orange and purple glow over the upper city. None that you can see, which is strange because you're very close. I mean, you're only like a few minutes from the coast. There's usually seagulls and stuff like that flying around near the docks.
I was
think
just gonna
birds are-
gently pick Leor up just in case.
Living hours already in the other zone, so
Are there any rats around?
Not that you can see.
Where are all the animals?
Are there any bugs?
Hidden or asleep. Oh my god!
Go down
the
the
plan,
A
guys?
giant spider
Right.
just...
okay. Let's go back to the keg place, please. Let's do that. Let's try to at least ask somebody what they might have seen.
And
The
I
three
do wonder
kegs.
though if it's like, because you were the first one to find him, right? Find Rail. If anyone else found him before, at least they didn't care enough to notify anyone, so they might be not willing to talk if anyone saw it. Well, we should probably ask anyways, I guess.
Worth a shot, I suppose.
Yeah.
Rael, is there any way that you can, I don't know, put a cloak over you or something? I mean, you definitely have a target on your back. That has been established by now. You're twice nearly killed, so...
Yeah, it's probably for the best, but without stealing one, I don't think.
I'll have a look at my inventory.
I mean, I still have my old cloak. I haven't burned it yet, I don't think, but I'm not. I don't know if I should give that to...
I have a robe in my adventure gear for some reason. Do you want it? I don't know why I have it, but it says on D&D.
Sure, am I right to just pop that over the top of me for the time being.
There you go.
Just slide it over my my chainmail. Yeah, sure.
Cool. So, as you guys sort of like exit from the alleyway, you quickly find yourselves in front of the 3 old kegs. The doors are sort of like ajar, the windows are open. Inside, you can sort of hear the breezy conversation. What would you like to do?
Is there a bartender?
You heading inside?
Oh,
I would like to remain at the door,
Quick
just in
question,
case
is
they
there-
try to run on us again.
Is there anything on the door that says like no animals or familiars allowed? Okay, Leor can go in.
Leave your families at the door.
Hey,
no Irish.
I have
no.
an idea. I'm not the best with this, but I could give it a try. I mean, I will at which point close my eyes and I'll think back to a time when I used to dream when I was younger. I would almost as if I could hear languages and not understand them, the voices wherever they would come in the starlight dreams, and eventually I would, if I concentrate on those voices long enough, I'd be able to suddenly understand them. At which point you just see instinctively I reach down for some soot and I throw it over myself. The soot, just almost like firecrackers, emerges and I cast comprehend languages on myself. At which point you see, I guess my ears beginning to glow a little bit more brighter. I've never tried this before, but I think I have an idea. At which point I'll just walk inside.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
As you head inside, the first thing that you notice is a sort of like central bar. There's sort of like small squared glasses sort of like hanging down for easy access, large kegs in the sort of like back, and dusty sort of like bottles sort of like arranged in a somewhat neat display. You can see the interior of the 3 old kegs is still sort of like in disrepair and being cleaned up. You can see sort of like 2 crusty looking older humans, both of them with like sort of like greasy graying hair tied into buns, dragging some of the tables back in from like where they'd been moved the previous night for celebrations. You can see one sort of like particular older gentleman. You can see sort of like a solemn sort of like sagging face, eye patch over the one eye, a neatly made leather eye patch, sort of like a crown of hair surrounding like a balding spot. You can see he's sort of like cleaning glasses. Roll me a perception check, Nebulon, as you're the first person going in.
Well, maybe you can ask him where he got his eye patch.
Perception 19.
Cool. Few things catch your attention. You can see that this place seems to be mostly frequented by what look like members of like the Smiths Guild. You can see a lot of like craftsmen and like stonemasons, sort of like still dirty from a day of work, but just sort of like slowly enjoying some drinks. It's not particularly busy. There's probably only 15 to 20 people in here. You can see it's mostly populated by members of the Flaming Fist. You can see a few of them sort of like fresh off the ship, taking like their sort of like armor, their helmets off, their armor off, just sort of like enjoying drinks, casual conversation. But the person who does catch your attention, towards the back in a small booth where Rael had previously spoken with some of the dwarven nobles who opposed Lazari Castlanta the night before, you can see the familiar face of Melissa Vamas. You can see the sort of like dark hair and the sort of like pointed eyes. You can see that she's in conversation with what appear to be some other very rich looking nobles. You can see that she's pointing towards a document with a stern expression.
I'll attempt to just walk casually over to the bar and I'll sort of gesture over. At the same time, I'll really try and attempt to listen in to the best of my ability.
Cool. As you sort of like make your way towards the back of the bar, trying to catch earshot, roll me a perception check, please.
Okay.
What are the rest of you doing while this is going on?
I am staying outside.
Cool. So Bilka and Rael are outside, Kyra and Serena.
I probably went in because I don't know what else to do.
Kyra will probably like stay. I don't want to say both in or out, but just kind of like near Rail, but also keeping
Cool.
in the.
So Serena, I'll say you sort of like pull up next to Nebulon. What was your check, Nebulon? 8. Cool. So as you attempt to listen in, you begin to hear the starts of a conversation. I've made things very clear about how I want this all. And at that point, you watch as the sort of like gruff old bomber goes, "Oh, mate, what can I get for you?"
Oh, sorry. I'll have It's like my attention's drawn that way, so I kind of just go, I'll have the strongest thing you have. That's,
The strongest.
Why would you go for the strongest?
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to, yes, please. And I'll attempt to listen in again, knowing that I've barely heard it.
You see, you watch Serena as he says this and sort of like turns his, and then Nebulon turns his attention slightly away. You watch as the sort of like barman looks him up and down and goes, "What about your funeral?" Sort of like goes towards the back. You watch he pulls out a small sort of like obsidian black bottle, probably only about this big. You watch as he takes it, pours 5 drops into a shot glass, passes it across the counter. Oi! 5 gold pieces.
Nebula, don't.
Five gold
What
pieces.
did you just put in? Hey, what was that about?
What's?
You asked for the
You
strongest
put
thing I've
something in
got.
your drink.
Oh, no, that is the drink.
This?
Sorry,
I'll sort
Phil.
of gesture over
What?
to the glass and flick it a little bit. There's like, there's almost nothing in it.
You asked for the strongest thing. You want more?
Ah.
I'm not.
What?
Oh.
I'm gonna insight check him and see if he's light.
Roll me an insight check.
The nectar of the gods.
They're all coming in at the weirdest times, but natural 20.
Incredible. He seems to be fully truthful. It's the strongest thing he's got.
This
Me.
poison.
Well,
Do people poison
It's not going to
themselves
kill you.
willingly?
No. You think I'd be open if I just sold poison willy-nilly to people who asked for it?
he's
Maybe.
I
Just play the
trust you,
box.
man. I'll then
Listen,
gesture. And
mate.
I trust you. I listen here, and I'll drop down 5 gold.
Enjoy.
I think I will, and I will take the vial. Is it a shot glass?
It's in a shot glass.
Okay, and I'll just.
You see he sort of like leans back and crosses his arms and watches you as if he's waiting for you to drink it.
Ah, damn it! I was about to. I guess.
If I take,
peer
can
pressure will.
I look at it medically?
You,
You want to take a look at it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Like, does it look like poison or something?
Roll me a medicine check.
Yay, I'm good at that.
It's probably poison, but not the one you're
It's just
expecting,
methanol.
basically.
14. I mean,
Please don't
without,
joke about
without trying it yourself or like properly magically investigating it, it's hard to tell. It looks aggressive. It's like jet black and strangely not as viscous as you'd think. It's a little bit like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's a little bit like
Like Sambuca?
like sludgy.
Ooh.
Oh, what is that one? Because I remember there's like
You know what? It's fine.
alcohol.
I'll just. I feel the pressure of him just glaring at me, and I'll just knock it.
Oh, fucking hell! Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh god.
Not bad, you know. That is not bad. This could come in handy. It's a 19 on the dice. Let me get my
A
con
19
save.
on the dice.
On the dice. Let me get my con save.
Still not enough.
Oh god. Oh no.
Con save is really good. It's a +6, a 25.
Okay.
Come on.
You're down.
Come on.
So, on a 25,
Yep.
immediately as it hits your mouth, the strangest thing is it doesn't really have a flavor. It immediately numbs every taste bud in your mouth if you take it. And it is sort of
Oh.
Oh.
like a chewing sensation as it sort of goes down. As you sort of like swallow it, you feel that numbing sensation sort of like pull all the way down your chest. And for a second, you try to move your hand, and it is immobile. You sort of like seize up rigor mortis style, like paralyzation. Then you sort of breathe, but you feel very, very, very uneasy on your feet.
Do I feel...
My God, you're something special, you are.
I sort of clutch hold of Serena. Oh, I don't know what I just did. At that point, I guess I'll just kind of... I guess I'll look past Serena at that point and just sort of my eyes sort of glaze over. Do I feel more confident now? Or do I just kind of...
Oh no, you feel cold, like you've just like recovered from like a really bad fever.
I need
And
to
your
get
entire
there.
insight, like all of your like vital organs are
Oh
numb.
no, what was that?
I think I need to get some air. I'll sort of like I'll knock the stool over as I sort of like just walk back outside.
Oh, I want to keep an eye on him, love.
Oh god. Oh god.
Did you go outside?
As a Nebulon sort of stumbles outside, a little bit uneasy on his feet.
Immediately, like, as he stumbles outside, because Vilka goes like high alert, like if something's going on, and seeing that he's just like, looks like tipsy, I guess. Maybe not.
I just had like 3 drops of alcohol and
What?
I can't feel anything.
What? Hold on. What happened?
I think that was like the first time I ever drank anything. Oh god.
Oh.
Oh no. I knew I shouldn't have done it. Oh no. You just go see him
Cairo,
slump
like,
down and just sort of cradle himself a little. Oh no.
look and see if she can see Serena, like,
I'm just
walking
like
over.
walking out the bar, like, what am I supposed to do?
You see, he turns around to you and goes, "Is he some kind of alcoholic or something like that? Because that was wild." And he just stopped that and stood on his feet.
Oh my god.
But he's really tall, so maybe it just sort of evened out.
I have seen that. I have seen that shit take down much bigger men than him. Let me tell you that. That is pure distilled basilisk venom.
Oh man.
Is that legal here?
It's a delicacy in Kalimshan, and it got imported over. Got given a bottle of it by some passing merchants last night. It's not illegal. It's frowned upon.
That's
Great.
that's a lot of disclaimers. I think that okay. I'm hoping to maybe just stay a little bit to see if I can hear something. So I'll be like, can I get a glass of fruit juice?
I've so failed that mission there.
Can I get a
That could never go work.
Yeah, it's like a
mean
cocktail but without
wine?
the alcohol.
Tell you what, I'll give you a nice glass of grape juice. How about that?
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
Brilliant. You see, he uncorks a bottle of wine. Hands it over towards you.
Is it
Grape
alcoholic
juice.
grape juice?
It's a bar, sweetheart. Everything's alcoholic.
But what about the mixers, the ones that you used to make the pina coladas with and stuff?
Opinion what?
You know, like the ones you get at. Okay, never mind. Okay.
Listen, look, if you want that fancy shit, you're in the wrong tavern. Go to the bar down the road.
Which one?
The Three Dancing Eels.
Oh, that sounds okay. Well, how much do I owe you for this?
You know what? For entertaining me like that, take it.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
All worth it now.
I'll just sip it a little bit at the bar while I try and listen and try and pretend that I'm really focusing on tasting the wine.
Roll me a perception check.
Wish me luck, guys.
And a performance check, so you're just swilling around, smelling.
21.
I'll say that you sort of like take a seat on a stool. You can hear the sound of Nebulon sort of shaking outside, and your sort of like senses focus in on specifically Melissa's conversation. You can hear that she's speaking with 2 other nobles at this point. She sort of like points to the document and says, "I've made this clear to you both, haven't I? Bryce is on board. Why are you not on board? Listen, at the end of the day, it's very simple. Now that Lazaro is in power, we need to make sure that we don't have any, how do I say, backbenchers moving against us in the Parliament of Peers, right? So it's very simple. Where we need to, we just move people from certain sections of the city to other sections of the city, right? As I say, my contacts in the outer city are already dealing with what's going on over in So's Foot. I just need you two to pull your fingers out and sort your rich friends and make sure they don't question any of it happening, right? Are we agreed?" You see that one of them sort of like takes off a large sort of like wide-brimmed hat with a sort of like plumed feather, sort of like takes it off and like lays it on his feet and goes, "Well, I understand what you're saying, Lady Vamas, but I question the validity of possibly moving so quickly into the outer city. It's not a negotiation. It is your job. You've been promised very lucrative seats in a new parliament. Make sure that you earn them first. Right, yes, of course.
Can I see what the other two nobles look like? Is there anything that's like just general
So as a man
feature?
sort of like takes his help, you can see he's like a large, overweight man, has like a neatly sort of like trimmed, like grey beard. You can see that he has like a very sort of like rosy complexion. He's sort of like wiping his head with a handkerchief as he's trying to like talk through this tense negotiation with Melissa. The other one looks to be a slightly more sort of like slender elven figure. You can see that she's very, very well composed, much like Melissa herself. Sort of like legs crossed, a long sort of like flowing sage green gown, and sort of like raven dark hair pulled into a tight braid.
Do they look like the two other dukes that were present at the Duke
They do not,
inauguration?
no.
Okay. Because that was also like a fancy lady and a fat dude, right? So, anyways, maybe I'm mixing stuff up. I'll ask the bartenders, like, I've just like taken like one little sip and I'm kind of like not liking it very much. So I'm like, is this glass to go?
He
What's
just
the
sort
glass
of looks at
included?
you. No. Have you been in a pub before?
No, I just turned legal age, drinking age.
Right, get
so
out! Get out! Get out!
With the glass? Can I keep the glass?
Just go!
Okay, I'm gonna leave with the glass. I got a free glass, guys. Oh yeah, and I did hear some important information.
That's
Sorry.
good. Is Nebulon okay? Just like making sure, he's.
He drank.
Nebula, as you sort of like
alcohol
take a
poison.
breath and get some air back in, you get like a cold sweat over your face, but you're composed again.
I think I'm alright. You were saying something
you-
about you heard something. What
We
was
should
it?
go somewhere else. I think. Somewhere.
Tell me it was worth it.
Hello.
Wait, did you
What's
drink
good?
any as well? Please
No,
tell me you
this
didn't.
is grape juice.
That's
That's
wine.
not what I wanted.
I was like, inside
No?
check. But no, it's fine.
Oh, right. Oh. I'll sort of raise to my feet and I'll sort of. Okay, let's.
You
Anywhere
guys
but
can
here,
now
please.
see the sun sort of like sets and the darkness begins to fall over as the drift globes begin to sort of like descend from High Hall, casting like a dim glow over the city.
I guess.
Guys, listen to this.
Go ahead.
So, are we somewhere secret? Are we somewhere that's a little bit away? I just don't want to be
Where
right
are you
outside the
going?
door.
You're coming back outside
Where are
because
we
I'm
going?
doing stuff outside.
What are you doing?
If you come outside, I'll tell you.
Oh, she's
I
outside
am
speaking.
outside.
She's outside. What are you doing while this conversation is going on, right?
So, what I'm doing is I've got my longsword out and I'm thinking back to the night. Going over to the pool of blood that's on the floor, I'm going to get my longsword out and I'm going to try and replicate everything that the orc was doing as he was, taking my eye. So, going around in a circle, coming down, figuring out where he'd be leaning over me, and I'm trying to figure out like where he's going after that in my head.
So as you start to sort of like circle around and retrace his steps, trying to put together a sort of visual image of this scene from the night prior, the thing that strikes your attention is, from what you can remember before you lost consciousness, the orc who attacked you did walk away. He didn't climb or like run or rush or anything like that, and there's only one exit out of this particular alleyway. It's back out the way you came onto the main street, sort of like just in front of the 3 old kegs.
And then I'll point my sword in the direction and I'm going to go back and I'm going to remember Bryce. That was the orc's name. And I'm guessing at this point...
I'll say that you sort of rejoin the group as Serena's sort of like feeding this information back.
Cool, what's going on?
Ideally, I would like to tell everyone not right in front of the keg thing in case
Where
people
are
come
you guys
out.
headed Where are you guys headed next? It is getting dark.
We shouldn't stay in the streets if they attacked us
I
in
agree.
plain sight during the day. Then the night is so much of a good idea.
Agreed.
You're right.
Are you
have
all right, by the way, Nebulon? You look a bit more
I'm
You look
fine.
red.
ill.
I tried to drink something. It's not important. I'm just.
The bartender
What?
said it was basilisk blood.
It was
What?
Basilisk blood or
Oh,
venom?
basilisk venom. Sorry, I think.
Basilisk. I'm immediately going to
What
run inside.
that-
You're gonna run inside.
Kyra's like, what the? And she. That. And
I'll follow suit.
and I'm sure. Kyra
I'll
would
be
know
back. I'll be
about
back. I'll be back.
Basilisk's venom and things probably.
Why?
My friend said that you're selling basilisk venom.
I was before he drank it.
Oh, did he drink it all? Did he?
That was the singular bottle.
Ah, damn. Well,
Not easy to come by.
never mind. Thank you anyway. And I'm going to walk back outside and just look really defeated.
And
Did you drink some as well?
I wanted to get some, but I couldn't.
I wouldn't
I'm sorry.
recommend that.
Oh, I'm not. I wasn't going to drink it.
Okay,
What
good.
did it feel like, Nebulon?
What the?
I don't know. I think I'm so weak. It affected me.
Where are you
straight
guys
away.
headed now?
Let's head back
It's
to
okay,
the.
buddy.
still have
We
our room
shouldn't.
still,
We
no?
shouldn't head back to our room. If they've been
think-
watching over us for somewhere, we should pick a completely different location and we should stay there for the night.
Yes.
What about the Harper Safe House?
Honestly,
was
that
it
might be
again?
the best option.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Are we even sure that it is really safe?
That's also
Well-
quite a walk away. No, is that not in the outer city?
I guess I think it's
It is in the
the
outer city. It'll take you
It's a long way.
a few hours to get over there.
Oh.
Yeah, we don't have that amount of time with the sun going down. What about the was it the mermaid down the way?
No, that's where we came.
That's where you
from,
guys
isn't it?
stayed last night.
Oh, is not the.
That's where you have the
There is
room.
still the Elfsong Tavern.
Yeah.
But it is a tavern, just like the Blushing Mermaid. A tavern is a tavern, which is not safe. In any case, they found us one time. They will find us again.
All right. I think I have an idea. But first, I'll click my fingers and I'll. You just see Luminari just materialize on my shoulder. Luminari, I have a favor to ask. And I'll sort of whisper into his ear for him the command for him to fly to the mermaid to just wait outside of the window.
And he follows.
Wherever we stay, Luminari is going to watch our old room, and if anything does turn up, I will be able to see it directly through Luminari's eyes. So
That's
we have
that's
every
good.
basis covered, I suppose.
Are you gonna be like mentally elsewhere then? Do we need to carry you?
I will. No,
Would you-
I'll walk obviously before I rest, and then I will
Okay.
probably won't be able to take watch, I suppose. But I could
Yeah,
give
it's
you
okay.
Sarah, I guess.
Would you like someone to lean on just in case? Basilisk venom is.
I think. Well, I don't know. It must have gone through my system. I'm not the best alcohol drinker, so I must have been really weak. It's fine.
But
Where are you
that's
guys headed?
normally the opposite of how it works, I think. Okay.
I guess what Nebula will do then is he'll start looking for the next direction of the nearest sort of inn that is not obviously this one.
Are you
Would
looking
there
to stay in the?
be-
Are you looking to stay in the upper city, or are you making your way back down to the lower city?
That is the question.
I think upper city might be better. It seems to be
It might
having
be
more.
safer, but also, are there more Flaming Fist here? Does it seem like there are more than there were in the...
Significantly more.
Yeah. So I feel like we're at risk everywhere, guys.
Would I mean, I don't know. I don't have an extensive knowledge of Baldur's Gate, and I only knew the Blushing Mermaid and the Elf Song, but would I be able to recall a place that would be kind of advantageous for us to stay at, even if it's not like a place where you can actually sleep or anything?
Roll me a history check.
Why don't we just go to the brothel?
Brothel. You know a brothel?
There are brothels definitely around here.
Yeah, but you said the brothel as if you knew a place.
A brothel then.
Okay.
Sorry, I was
So you're
thinking
not
about
familiar.
Renard.
Oh.
What's a brothel?
He would definitely know the brothels.
I'll tell you later, Nebulon.
Is it like a library or something?
Of a sort.
Right. Okay.
It's never mind. Anyway,
Okay.
sometimes there are beds in them though, and as much as they probably wouldn't be the best to sleep on, it's an idea.
Well, you could sleep with the books, I guess.
You
enough.
really
So what was your-
to involve any workers in our situation.
What was your check,
17.
Vilka? 17. So, in terms of other locations that you would know of, there's a couple. None of them exactly fit what you're looking for in the city itself. In the upper city, there's very few places that you, as a group, could go and not stand out like a sore thumb, which kind of gives you pause. In the lower city, from what you can remember, there's the Blushing Mermaid, which is the rougher tavern. There's the Elf Song Tavern, which isn't much better, but marginally so. There's the Smiling Boar, which is the most illustrious sort of like tavern, if you can call it that. It's more of a cafe than anything. In the lower city, over in Bloomridge, towards Sea Tower and some of the richer estates of the lower city. There's the Low Lantern, which is very similarly a disused ship, which has been converted into more of a fest hall. Very, very famously frequented by the Flaming Fist in the lower city. And as you start to sort of like think about it, the easiest place to stay, whilst it is a bit of a walk, but if you did want the most advantageous to stay in your current situation, it might well be a hostel or a tavern or even a brothel in the outer city.
Not the lower, but the outer. Okay, guys, I have a crazy idea, but like, so that magic guy you talked about, Loroakan, he was really powerful, right? And he really wants Nebulon, so if someone else is trying to kill Nebulon, maybe he would protect Nebulon and the rest of us. Maybe
Yes,
if we
he
go
would-
to him and if we're like, you can have
He
a
would
toenail,
protect me as
like
And
project. I think.
yeah, I'm sorry, but like, it's better that we're alive, right?
I mean, you got a point. Plus, he does like oddities, and well, carriage a string to both Nebulon and herself.
Not that odd. No. I like
Where are you
No,
guys heading
no,
as
I
you're
meant
having this
to-
conversation?
So,
As
Walking out
much
of
as
it,
I
yeah,
do not like your point, Rail, you might have an idea there.
Look, I don't want to be anywhere near one of those places either, but
Well, we can always take the room and tell the worker to go have their own night. And then
we
we
just
can
stay
arrange ourselves in an
safely.
advantageous situation.
Yeah,
Maybe, try to see if we can make some kind of trap should they want to attack us during the night.
I think we're heading to the outer city as we're having this conversation. I would
Yeah.
assume.
just
Yeah,
going
we
through the
probably-
gates.
Moving down from the upper city to the outer city is a far easier task than doing the opposite. You guys sort of like quickly pass through the gates of the upper city, through the sort of like rabbled crowd. At this time of the night, the streets are getting a bit more densely packed as like workers are finishing their day of work and beginning to head towards like their leisurely activities in the evening. You can see the Flaming Fist have sort of increased their presence at this point. And as you sort of like make your way over to Basilisk Gate, in particular, you can see what appears to be in the square, sort of like around it, what looks like a set of 3 nooses are currently being set up by members of the Flaming Fist. You can see that they're sort of like beginning to like move the actual like wooden beams into place. They're sort of like checking the strength of it, testing the trapdoor and things of that. You can see a few people sort of like standing around looking, watching carefully as it's going on. You see that roll me a perception check, those who are sort of like keeping stock of their surroundings as you're moving through the city.
There's
I'll
the
listen with my
bad
new
one.
ears a little bit, so if I can
I
pick up
think
new
it's
languages.
pretty much everyone at this point that is looking at the
Three,
surroundings.
Oh, like
3.
11.
12.
12.
19.
Ooh. Nice.
Yay!
Someone pulled through.
incredible. As you sort of like are looking around, the first thing that captures your eyes, Nebulon, is a familiar sort of like seedy looking halfling in like a bright blue doublet, long nose, and a pair of pin-scent spectacles set on the edge of them. You can see that he's got like sort of a notepad open, and he's sort of like writing, going around talking to the flaming fists, sort of like inquisiting, and you can sort of see Lospheus sort of beginning to try and put together what's going on, particularly here.
Does he clock me, or do I just watch him at work?
He looks like he's like dead set on his work at the minute. You can see he's quickly going from fist to fist, trying to pull information out of them.
I will, in that case, I'll just sort of branch away from the group real quick, and I'll just sort of pat him on the shoulder. Hey, Lospheus. Just double checking. You alright?
Nebulon, hello.
Hello. Hi. As your bodyguard, even though I'm not starting yet, I just wanted to double check. You all okay?
Oh yes, quite all right. How are you?
So far, I think I've had better days, but glad, all the better for seeing you. Tell me, what's going on over here?
There's some kind of execution being set up by the looks of it. Seems like a hot story, something to do with political dissent, seemingly.
Three nooses. What? I believe you above all else. What is your theory?
Well, they're keeping it very quiet at the moment. They're not telling me who it is, but looking at the height of them, I would hesitate to say that they're probably 3 dwarves or halflings, maybe.
Interesting. Right, well. If you need anything, do you have any means to communicate with me? If not, then do not worry. I will see you in the usual spot.
If I need to find you, I'll find you.
I believe
That's
that.
creepy.
Why are you good at finding people?
Very.
I bid you my leave, and I'll just sort of awkwardly back away as he stares at me.
You see, he watches you leave, writes something down, and then quickly turns to another one of the flaming fists. Exactly going on here in terms of, and you guys sort of like rejoin the group at this point.
We don't see the 3 figures that might be about to be executed.
I believe they are hanging dwarves or halflings, I believe, or possibly gnomes.
I have a feeling that someone else
Did he
might
say
be up
when?
there.
What do you think, Real?
I don't know, but didn't you say there was and I'll just go over to Vilk and I'll just hush my tone. Didn't you say that there was an assassination or something? A job? Could these be the...
Even such job, but I haven't
You haven't taken
gotten all the
notes.
details.
So, what if this is intertwined? There's lots of like threads and stuff that we could pull from here, but who knows? It could be for the assassinators or something, for all we know. Or I mean, if it's political dissent, it could be anything. But for some reason, I just think that we're going to see Renar on there. I don't know why.
You think they'll...
Do you seriously
Assassinate him?
think that they would murder a lordling from Neverwinter in plain sight in Baldur's Gate?
One that's been, you know, cast aside by his father. Maybe.
You know well, and I think you should probably know that as well. When it comes to where you're born, you always have more value than anyone else. I don't see a lordling getting hanged here.
Oh, I hope not. Either way, though, we should definitely check it out.
Nebulon? Nebulon, do you think the reporter knows when this is going to happen?
I don't think he does, and believe it or believe me, from what I've known of him so far, if he knows something, he would definitely say something. But he does not.
You
He
think-
actually he has nothing that is useful other than the height. Of
Do you think he could
people.
find Bryce?
I think he could try. It might be worth trying. Bryce, that is the name of the orc that tried to kill you.
Yeah, I remembered it when I was outside of the tavern.
Didn't you say something about that, Serena? That was something that you overheard. That
Yeah, I just didn't feel safe talking about it. I mean, there's everyone around here, and I didn't want to say anything right outside the tavern where the people involved are present. Oh, I mean, there's a fuck ton of people around right now, right?
It's a city. There's quite a lot of people
Yeah.
around, but none of them are paying you any particular mind.
Okay.
What did you
Right,
hear?
let's keep it.
Okay, so I'm gonna whisper, but I'm not gonna because my mic is not gonna pick that up. But I'll tell everyone. Maybe Nebulon, can you message me and pass it around? Is that better, or is that
And as I'm
tedious?
walking, I guess I'll just sort of like imagine the void of space and just a singular voice going through, and I'll start to pass that message across, bit by bit.
Cool.
Are you passing that to everyone? Your message spell.
Yes, I am. Effectively, I will pass it across to Serena. I'll assume Serena then responds, and I'll then just relay exactly what happened bit by bit. You'll start to see a trickle of blood move down Nebulon's nose.
Oh no!
Really
Oh no!
concentrating on doing this message over and over
Oh, no.
again as I sort of clutch hold of, I guess, Rail's shoulder as we're walking through the city streets.
Oh,
Just like
I shouldn't
taking a
have
little
talked out loud. Sorry.
No, it's
a little
okay.
handkerchief she has and just kind of dabs him a little bit.
Oh,
Kara just
grazie.
kind of.
I appreciate it.
Velka's a little bit startled by the fact you just like forced a voice in his head. So as you're passing him the message, you see that he's got some kind of surprise on his face, and he looks around.
The magic.
See
And then
Rail go
recognizing your voice, he just like simmers down a bit.
Yeah, you just see Rail go very, very pale.
So that's the same guy, right? Rail.
Yeah.
And he has ties too. I mean,
Yep.
she's definitely not reliable then.
Yeah.
We can't ask her for anything. Not that.
No.
Nope.
But
I'm also wondering, the stuff that happened to you in that alley. Do you think if someone stabbed you with a lot of basilisk venom, that would be the symptoms? Maybe. Do you think the whole because he said he got it delivered yesterday, I think. Maybe someone sort of set this up. I don't
it
know.
was strange. So I was held in place before I could do anything. Before I could react,
Yeah.
before I could charge them down, before I could go
Oh, it
after
was
Renar.
magic.
Yeah, I think so. But funnily you mentioned that. That was why I was after that basilisk venom.
Oh, yeah.
So, where specifically are you guys headed?
Pretty much heading to a brothel.
Oh, God.
Vilka is suggesting at this point, I think since Vilka's got the lay of the land, we're going to go with Vilka's suggestion in the
I
outer
mean,
city.
unless you guys want to go somewhere else, but that was
It's just-
my suggestion. and
Instantly,
kind
I
of
think
around
it's what
suggestion
Renar would
as well.
want.
You guys are heading to the sheriff. So you guys,
This is where Renard would
So-
want us to go.
so you guys are heading to the sheriff's caress.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, no.
Shara's
Yep.
dress on top of it, man.
God.
The more people around, the better, honestly. As much as I don't really want to drag anyone into it, the more people around means that there's going to be less of a chance that they can do anything.
As you guys sort of make your way through the lower city, past Basilisk Gate, into the outer city proper, we're going to go ahead and cut over to another individual in the outer city. Incredible. So, as we zoom over, far from the upper city, across the bridge of Worms Crossing in the Chionthar River proper, we find ourselves in Rivington, a hamlet which recently has bustled to life in the wake of the influx of refugees from El Tyrell. The sort of infernal heritage of this particular neighborhood has exploded over the last few months. And last year itself, what was once the outlying farmlands of Baldur's Gate has sort of been built into a nestled, almost community, as it were. You can see what looks like haphazardly built, sort of like stone houses have been constructed, sort of out of what anyone can sort of like pull in the like at the time, sort of thatched roofs, some houses made of wood, reused barns. And in particular, there's one building which stands out in Rivington. On a quiet rise above Rivington's southern edge, we see the once proud stones weathered by years of salt breeze and neglect. A temple.
Built in the orthodox Baldurian style, a rectangular nave of pale limestone is capped with terracotta, now mottled with moss and creeping ivy. We see statues of a figure, hands bound, looking down. And a large symbol up above painted onto the building is two bound hands wrapped with a red cord. Crimson banners marked with the white hand sigil of Ilmater hang limp in the warm air, their edges frayed but lovingly mended. The entryway opens into a dim but peaceful sanctuary, where dusty sunlight filters through narrow arched windows, painting the stone floor with speckles of stained glass red and greens. Inside, said glass windows cast a comforting light onto a large bathing pool, which sits in the center, leading to an altar draped in a faded red cloth. Behind it, we see a carved relief depicting the crying god himself, bearing the burdens of suffering, a vision both humbling and serene. To the left, a small alcove holds a charity box and a stack of bread loaves to the poor, tended by the faithful of this temple. We see a few monks moving quietly through the space in simple, sort of like muted blue robes, lighting candles and whispering prayers. And in the back room, we see a figure currently tending towards a couple of sick halfling gentlemen. Adewale, would you like to describe your character for me?
Yes. So Adewale is a bugbear with grey fur. His hair is redded up all the way down into a tied back ponytail, as well as his beard. There's beads and both gold and red threaded throughout both his hair and his beard, and he's wearing quite form-fitting, snug robes, but they've seen better days. They're quite frayed and worn out, and across his hands they're bound in sort of leather, black and red sort of fabric to symbolize his devotion to his god.
Incredible. And it's been a wild ride for you, Adewale, since you've arrived into the city. What you thought would be a place which would bear answers towards your investigation into the savage attacks across the south of the Sword Coast has instead led you towards more questions. You sort of walked into this temple in the midst of this enormous sort of like divide between the two different schools of thought in Ilmater's teaching. Even now, you can hear bickering from deeper into the temple between two of the faithful. Some shouting about whether or not to let in more of the poor and the downtrodden. Some saying that we need to reinvigorate the religion and we need to be letting people take some of the suffering. And that's just sort of like tending towards two sick halflings who have come in. You can see in particular, both of them have been suffering from what looks like, for lack of a better term, exposure. Seems like they've been sleeping on the streets and been sleeping rough for the past couple of weeks. They've come to the temple for basic aid. You've done what you can. You've sort of given them a warm meal and helped sort of like bring them back up into health. And you see that they sort of like look at you and smile and nod. And as you're sort of like chatting to them, eventually you're interrupted by a figure who is familiar to you. You see sort of like pale blue robes, swept back golden blonde hair and two large pointed ears. You would recognize this as Brother Bill, one of the sort of like faithful and higher ranking sort of like devotees of Ilmater. You see he approaches you and says, Adewale, just the man I was looking for. Excuse me, and you see he looks down at the two halflings. If you've done with your treatment, could you please leave?
Please, brother, they are still resting. Surely I can come with you and leave them to their reconnaissance, yes.
I understand, but if you finish your treatment, we're making it a point not to let all of the needy stay the night, because well, you know that there's a bit of a homeless crisis out in the outer city at the moment, and if we open our doors to everybody sleeping rough, we'll be overrun.
I will acquiesce to your decision. This is your monastery, but I would like to voice that I I believe that is the purpose of a monastery, to house those who need it. But very well, very well.
Noted. Well, come with me. Go on, run along. You see they sort of like look up, put down the sort of like bowls. You see one of them looks up at you, sort of like messy, matted brown hair, and goes, "Oh, Brother Adewale, thank you very much for all your help. You've been a kindness in this city that we don't often see."
Think nothing of it, my friend. I pray things turn better for you soon.
I appreciate that. Now go along, go on. Right, brother. Let's speak frankly here.
Yes.
With what's going on in So's Foot, obviously a lot of the working class, butchers and people who once maybe were something in the lower city, outer city, are finding themselves down on their luck, let's say. And I appreciate the
Yes.
fact that you are a devotee of Ilmater, this newfangled way, but I have put it to
Okay.
Sister Yanis that perhaps we need to take a firm stance here. We need to decide whether or not we're backing Duke Castellanter, and I personally think that we should. And I was hoping to get your endorsement as well.
I see. Well, I regret to tell you, brother, but I cannot countenance what this person stands for.
What?
I was there for that speech. It was, in my opinion, abhorrent and essentially a rejection of the contents of our faith. But I understand. I may not be part of your church, but I've come to understand the influence that being within a large political city can have. So, at the end of the
Listen.
day, I am but a humble itinerant priest.
I understand what you're saying. I do, and it's been a pleasure having you here. Listen, we're a small sect, right? Our father, the crying god, he's not popularly worshipped in this part of the realms. It's hard work. We have the weeping friars over in Elturel. They're decreeing the old ways of castigation and, flaying each other, taking the pain onto themselves. It's insane. And I get the whole charity thing. I get the whole charity thing the Yellow Rose does and what you stand for, but you have to understand, you're not from a city. You haven't seen the last 6 months. It's been... First we had the refugees from Elturel, the tieflings that came in and they were demanding help. Father Logan, murdered in cold blood in the temple himself.
That is regrettable.
And now they want us to... all of a sudden we've got this influx of people from So's Foot who want to come here and stop sleeping rough. It's unfeasible. It's going to break the back of the temple. We cannot deal with this many people.
I fear, brother, that my presence here is adding untoward pressure to your situation.
No, but you're the deciding factor, you see. Sister Yanis won't listen to me or Brother Clements. If you come onto one of our sides, then it's happy days. We'll be able to sell her easily if somebody of your standing in our sect were to back our political position. And as this is happening, you see storming over in a huff, sort of like tan skin, a tight sort of like tied black ponytail and a goatee, sort of like comes over in the same robes, like stockily built dwarf, goes, Brother Bill, I've told you, stop trying to canvass Brother Adewale. He's not interested. This man is a devout follower of the real tenets of Ilmater, and he will not hear your heresy, for lack of a better term. You talk to me about heresy, Clemens. You know nothing of it. Your policies are going to drive this place into the...
Friends,
Your
please,
policies are...
please, not... I understand your frustrations in this, both of you. I hope I hoped that you would find some sort of compromise, some sort of middle ground. And I'm sorry, but I cannot be the tiebreaker for you. I don't know how long I will be here, and to weigh the decision of such far-stretching ramifications upon my shoulders, I'm not willing to accept such a burden. I
You see
think
they
it
both
might...
sort of look at. You see that Brother Cummins looks at you and goes, "That's completely understandable, but trying to get one side of being nice to him." I understand your point, brother, and it's unfair of us to ask you to make such an important decision as to the tenets of our faith within this particular city. Your presence has been a blessing. We thank you. And you're free to stay here for as long as you need.
As a compromise, please give me a night. I must meditate on this, and perhaps on the next night I will be able to give you a more concrete answer.
Thank you, brother. Yes, thank you, brother. We appreciate your devout faith and your presence here.
Yes, and I think like I've been like slightly crouching a bit. I think I like to stay close to people's eye levels, and like I finally put myself to my full height and like put my hand on his shoulders. Blessings of the bound one to both of you, and I shall see you soon. Get some
And
rest.
also to you. And you see the two of them continue sort of like minorly squabbling, heading into the temple proper. Adewale, at this point, you're sort of like coming towards the end of your day's duties in the late afternoon. Knowing what you know, and the things that you had planned in the city, your meeting sort of like fell apart the night before. They didn't show.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think Adewale would look to do with the rest of the day at this point?
I believe he's going to... Have I had the dream yet?
You have. That was last night.
I think as much as the disappearance is weighing on me, I received one of my prophetic dreams. I'm going to be chasing down, seeing if I can find this person. I think I might actually check in with the Harpers directly to dual sort of see if there's any updates, as well as see if they know anything about this person that I've seen, or this group of people I've seen.
Incredible. So, as you sort of strike out into Rivington proper, you can sort of like feel the cool breeze of the sea air wash over you. You hear the sort of like rabble of people continuing their conversations. You can see parts of Rivington are currently being worked on and like built into what could hopefully be larger houses. You can see a particularly thick sort of like dense tiefling population amongst the people here, and they're just sort of walking. I imagine Adewale's like smiling at people, sort of like as he makes his way onto Worm's Crossing. You sort of know the various locations of some of the safe houses in the city. In particular, Dantlon's Dancing Axe, where the day prior you had sort of like spoken with the two Harper agents in the basement. And as you're sort of like making your way across Worm's Crossing, Master of Ember, you guys begin to sort of like wind your way through the outer city and find yourselves back onto Worm's Crossing. And as you're heading towards the Sheriff's Caress, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break there. And welcome back. So, Masks of Ember, as you guys make your way onto Worm's Crossing, the sun having set and twilight having set over the River Chionfar, you find yourselves in the strange cityscape that's been built over this bridge. You can see the like large towering houses again, shambled together and like sort of fitting in any sort of square inch of space that is physically available. As you pass down through Worm's Crossing, everyone just go ahead and roll me a perception check.
If we perceive bad enough, do we never meet our new friend?
9.
18.
12. Oh, yeah.
Incredible. So, I'll say this. With the aid of Kyra, as you guys are making your way down towards the Sheriff's Crest, your attention is sort of drawn over to Danphalon's Dancing Axe, the Harper safe house, which all of you had arrived into the city through the sort of like cargo lift of. As you're sort of like beginning to approach this at the establishment, you notice a peculiar individual entering inside of it. You can see this bugbear with these sort of like long flowing dreadlocks, dressed in what looks like some kind of tactical priest vestments, as it were. You notice as he's sort of like heading inside, the sort of like door to the establishment's quickly shut behind him. What would you all like to do?
Wait, guys, this is where we came from, right?
It was.
It was, yes.
That looked a little bit suspicious.
Very interesting individual, that's for sure.
He had really nice hair.
He
How
did.
close are we from the door?
You're not too far.
Well, we should probably check in on the on our friends, I think. And I'll just knock on the door.
Incredible. As you knock on the door,
Do you think
Couple of
Quill made it
minutes
back
pass.
here, maybe, as well? Sorry.
inside Adewale, you're greeted by Danphalon, this sort of like middle-aged dwarf who is very much huffing and puffing at this point, and he sort of turns around to you and just goes, "Beg, more harpers! Your friends are downstairs." And then there's a knock at the door.
I look. Do I need to get that, or should I go
Yes.
down?
Just be prepared.
I sort of move myself like into out of the line of sight of the doorway.
You see, he sort of walks over, cracks the door a second, and you all sort of like see peering up. Oh, God's sake!
Sorry.
Opens door. Get in! Get in! Get in!
Okay. Just shuffle.
I swear to the gods! And Adewale, you see entering in this eclectic group of individuals. You see Danphalon quickly shuts the door behind. Right, that's it. All of you can feed this back to Jahira. I am sick and tired of my establishment being used as a Harper halfway house. I'm sick of the secret meetings. I'm sick of the clandestine sort of here too that you're all doing. Can we please find another safe house? How about here?
Do you have any suggestions?
Peace, my friend.
It's the guy.
I assure you, once things settle, you will be left to your reconnaissance.
Thank
It is
you.
but a temporary measure, and when I should not say more here.
Yes, yes. Make your way down to the basement. Well, Adewale, these are the masks of Ember. Now, would the five of you like to give a brief description of yourselves? Let's start with Serena.
Oh, okay. I'm a itty bitty half orc. I'm not very strong, which is probably why I'm a cleric. You can see a little symbol of Bahamut on my sort of armor and blue scale armor, and I think I look kind of cute.
Nebulon.
So, first thing that strikes you is the height of Nebulon. It's around 6 foot, 6'2"-ish, at least on a first glance. Extremely odd for an elf. You've seen probably many elves in your time, but his skin is almost like a pastel blue color. You see, for a brief moment, faint twinkles of almost like star-like twinkles all across his skin. His hair is middle parted, about shoulder length. You can see sort of dark, almost like jet purples and blues. And towards the tips of his hair, it's almost like it's glowing almost. Not enough to be like a neon, but a faintness. You see he's wearing what looks like, the best way we could describe it is Jedi-like prim and proper robes. Again, those robes almost look that they've got stars sewn into the actual robes. He's got what looks to be this really nice ultramarine crystal on his belt in about center mass. Attached to his belt, you see, I guess, a wooden iron-like device. You wouldn't really know what it does at this point in time, but other than that, that's the main thing you get from Nebulon at this point.
I feel like I should have
Vilka.
said more now.
Vilka.
So coming at the rear, you see this kind of stout half elf. You can notice is a half troll simply because obviously he's got a big bushy beard. He looks very tired, as if he's been on the road for a little bit too long. He's got some hair pulled back, just some black hair, with some like signs of aging in the shape of just like one white streak. He looks somewhat annoyed and he's just like scanning around, but like he looks like he want to go to bed at this point.
Oh,
Gotcha.
grumpy.
Kyra.
Okay, so you see this. At first, you just see a green, emerald green robe. And the figure is probably around 5 foot. If she took off her shoes, she'd be around 4'11". She lowers her hood. And the first thing you notice is her skin. It's not like normal. It's tan, but it's... The only way I can describe it is chamomile colored. And then
Gotcha.
her eyes... I'm very tempted to say that her scleras are black.
Okay.
And then she has very bright, almost the same color as her cloak, but it's lighter in color, barium green eyes. And then her hair slightly flared out, showing signs of fire going through it.
Okay.
And then on her shoulder, through the cloak, you just see 2 piercing blue, almost the same color as hers, like, kind of giving off a glow and just kind of staring at you, studying.
Incredible.
Cool.
And the figure who your eyes immediately go to,
Yeah.
Adewale, Rail, would you like to give a description of yourself?
Standing at 5'10", you see a pale half-elf, really nice, long, pointy ears. He's wearing a chainmail chest piece, and you can see where the sun has bleached everything that what you probably presume is a tabard that normally covers his regalia. And I'm sure that there's a really important point here that I'm missing. Oh yeah, you also see this cloth, basically bandaging what looks like his left eye. Oh, and he's also very, very ginger.
Gotcha. Well met, friends. As our esteemed hostess said, my name is Adewale. I am a priest of Ilmater. I would suggest we alleviate the stress from our friend here and head down.
Yes, please,
There's
please
much for
go
us to
downstairs.
discuss.
Here,
Bill
I'll get the
Harper
door.
too.
I'll hold the door open for everyone. After you guys.
Thank you, Nebulon.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes, I have. I operate in some capacity for them, and
Oh, okay.
as Adewale reaches the hole, he doesn't like climb down; he just drops down.
It's just, oh.
Oh
Just
wow.
Must be nice
kind
being
of,
that tall.
I'll just do a little
kind of
salute to
leading
the door
to-
and then close the door behind me.
just kind of leading to Serena. He's really tall.
Yeah.
Possibly taller than Nebulon.
I'm surprised he fit in the hole. Like,
There's probably a lot of fur that you can't see underneath you.
What?
There's probably a lot of fur that you can't see, you know, where his actual body starts and
Oh.
the hair ends.
And as you guys make your way down into the basement, you again see the sort of like open sort of like front looking out over the River Chianthar, the sort of like cargo lift still set in place. You can see various barrels and crates and things of that nature sort of like placed around various like cargo for the store itself. You can see towards the back of the room two figures that you would immediately recognize Adewale. You can see Harper Anthony and Harper Geraldus. You, the rest of you would see what looks like a young, sort of like wood elven man, pointy ears, sort of like a well-maintained black hair, wearing what appears to be a set of blue Harper, sort of like leathers. You can see he's in conversation with a slightly older-looking gentleman. You can see like dark skin, a well-maintained sort of like goatee, again in sort of like blue Harper leathers, in conversation with Harper Geraldus right now. You see
Well
that
met,
as you sort of-
friends. I call out to both of them.
Well met, Brother Adewale.
Any news on Jahira's whereabouts?
We've been looking into it best we can. It's been a difficult trail to find. Reports seem to be conflicting. Not many people seem to have heard any ruckus or seen anything in Worm's Crossing. We do have confirmation that we do not believe she's entered into the main city itself. Our informants working at Basilisk Gate, as well as those in Cliffside Cemetery and Cliff Gate, it does not appear as though she's in the city. On the contrary, we have reason to believe she's somewhere in the outer city. We're not sure where yet, but we have a few more leads that we can follow.
That is unfortunate news. But where are my manners? I don't know if you met the... forgive me, what did he call you?
Masks of
Masks of Ember.
Masks of Ember, yes. These esteemed individuals, actually, what exactly did you come in for?
Well,
my
I mean,
friends?
we came in here for a couple of things. Safe passage as one, or a safe place to stay, and the second might be, well, I suppose now that there is something wrong with Jahira. That's interesting.
We were supposed to meet her yesterday evening, or we were told she would be here. But
I think I've heard of her. The name sounds familiar.
she's the High Harper, I think.
Yes, my teacher might have said something. I'm sure she will.
Unfortunately, I was meant to meet her last night, but she was attacked and absconded with, and
She was attacked.
What?
we do not know where
Indeed,
she is.
you see at this point, Harper Anthony sort of like steps up. We were here last night with her. We were waiting for contact from Leosin's agents, which I'm assuming is yourselves,
It is.
as well as Adewale here. Unfortunately, we were assaulted. Concerningly, here in the safe house.
By what exactly?
Oh my god.
Well, it's hard to tell. Black cloaked figures and some brutish half-orc. Wearing the symbol of Bane, nonetheless.
Oh yes, I've run into
They've
them,
been busy.
and I'm just rubbing my eye. They've caused us some problem here. Well, in the upper city, they decided to attack us just as night had fallen, and well, as you can tell, we are one less than we should be. They are currently in possession of Renar Neverember.
The Never Ember boy.
Yeah, we found him as we were coming from our journey from Greener Stop. But yeah, they took him. The orc specifically.
His name is Bryce, we think.
Yes, it was.
When were you attacked? When were you attacked?
In the late hours of the evening.
Interesting.
That was right before you guys, right?
All simultaneously. No, it wouldn't be. The orc was there, but yeah, it was either just before or after. It looks like they've been moving around a lot by the sounds of it, but why would they come after me and Jaheira?
Well, they came after Renar, right? Do you think they came after you?
With that thing above my head, I don't know if they care about me or if it was Renar.
Well, from
Judging
the
by the
sound of
dead
it,
birds on the roof, you're probably just another pair of, well, another eye that have seen them. This is why they want to kill you a second time.
That
And make
makes
sure
sense.
there are no loose ends.
I
Well, they
fear
don't
that
have another time.
I fear that unfortunately we may be in cross purposes in this. I was hoping to see if I can find what happened to Jaheira, and my closest clue is this Bay Knight or half-orc. You yourselves are searching for him, yes?
Yeah,
So to
we
speak.
find him, we find
we've been looking for.
we find
clues
Renar.
everywhere.
I'm sorry to intervene, and you see at this point Harper Anthony sort of like speaks up.
Of
You said
course.
the name Bryce.
Correct.
Yes, and it was Melissa Van Maas who was orchestrating some of these things at the very least, and she's working with this Bryce.
You see at that point the sort of like wood elven gentleman sort of thing goes, you don't think it could be Bryce
know who this-
Blackguard, do you? It would make a lot of sense.
Please,
Who's that?
friends, share.
Bryce Blackguard is a minor noble in the city of Baldur's Gate. The House Blackguard are not particularly wealthy, but they run the butcheries in Brampton, and recently they've been buying up almost all of the property in So's Foot.
I've heard a lot of
Seems like
mention of
everything
that
leads to
place.
Stone's Foot. We've been, as you say, Serena, hearing a lot about it. It is a name that keeps coming back.
Yeah, they said they've been buying a bunch of factories, of warehouses. Do you think they're storing something there or preparing something?
Does this Bryce smoke?
I'm afraid I'm unsure.
Just a curious question.
But he is a half-orc. We
Not
only
all
know about him from
half-orcs smoke.
the Magister's records. Our informant in the Fist.
At the very least, it is some form of trail to follow.
Oh, that is something
And
else we should mention as well. Sorry to cut you up. Adewale, was
No,
it?
Oh yes, please go on, my friend.
When I was also attacked, the second time I was attacked, there were members of the Flaming Fist that actually lured me down before they transformed and attacked us. Well, attacked me, and then luckily the party was nearby. But it looks like they're inside of the Flaming Fist as well.
That might be how they got to you.
But they
You're
were
on the safe
followers
side.
of
One of them.
Bard, the ones that attacked us.
Followers of Baal. You see at this point, Harper Geralda sort of like gets up and looks very uncomfortable at ease. It's impossible. The Cult of the Dead 3 were all but eliminated from Baldur's Gate 6 months ago.
Safe to say that these wounds would tell you
Always.
differently.
Wait, he's right.
They were definitely Baalist. They were praising the name of the dead god.
With that insane
These-
laugh.
Very, made us very uncomfortable, just a little bit.
Quite uncomfortable. We nearly died.
Didn't stop you from
Yeah.
lighting one up though, eh, Kyra?
That was really fun. I want to do it again.
I don't like goes. He paused. Going to ignore that. Could they be the remnants of the cult, not those with divine power, but those left over still looking to sow chaos.
I think if there's a god, there will always be followers, whether they were from before or the new people. But
That's
That
very
is-
possible. That's
That
very
is
possible.
true.
After the Absolute Crisis, the city was on its knees, but the Flaming Fist under Duke Ravengard mobilized and hunted down several cells of Banites and Baalists. Seemingly, a few of them may have fled the city, but not gone
do you
too
know
far.
more?
Oh, they dug their roots in elsewhere. By the sounds of it, we might be inclined to look into this butchery. I do wonder if they're using that
I
as a
think
front.
we might find some things in So's foot.
Well,
Is that where the butchery is located? Or-
It is, yes. It's in the outer city, just down from Whitkeep.
I think we passed
We're not
it on
too
the
far.
way, actually.
I think we might have done. Sorry, Adewale, was it?
Yes.
I don't presume to know your business here, but from what you just did, you dropped down the ladder and you landed just perfectly. I would assume that you are quite capable of defending yourself, no?
Yes, I am an itinerant priest. I tend to serve the outer settlements. One needs to be able to keep one safe. Apologies, I sometimes forget to use stairs. It
It's
disturbs people when I do that. I will try not to do it.
No,
was
it's not
fun.
a slight on you.
it was
I-
very interesting. It was not cool,
It
honestly.
was impressive. It was very, very good. What I was going to ask was, if it would be comfortable for yourself, it appears as if our goals align. Why not join us for the time being? At least until you're satisfied with your mission. We will find Jahira. Therefore, we will definitely find this half-orc, and perhaps.
My
Okay.
friend, you took the words straight out of my mouth. We are together in this.
I agree. And if we had an honorary mask, we would give one to you, but it is metaphorical, I think.
I see. Either way,
In honor of-
I thank you for welcoming me into your coalition group party. Party, yes.
Yes, that's a better one, I think. I like it. All right, we're about to stay at a library called the Sheriff's Caress, or at least that's what I think it is.
Oh, my friend, that is not a library.
Well, that's what Rael said. He called it it's like a library of sorts with beds.
Nebulon could.
I mean,
He's.
they have beds.
can probably
If you
read
have
there.
coin, it is fine to stay there.
Oh, we have coin. We
Do
have
you
enough coin
more
for that.
paper?
Okay.
Not to intrude and pretend to know your business in any way, Massive Ember, but would it not be fortuitous, perhaps, if you are planning to look into So's Foot? Most likely, if this is the cult of the Dead Three that we're dealing with, they'll be most active at night. And there's a high chance that perhaps they won't be at their base of operations, if that's where it is.
So you think we should infiltrate?
All right, night mission.
want to sleep, guys.
No, I need my spell slots.
No, you are.
Yeah, we need rest, guys. Come on.
You are correct, though. They wouldn't be there.
But we don't have much time in town.
We don't.
Either. I don't know where you're going after this, Adewale, but we have to head out in not tomorrow morning, but the day after. So
Yes.
We don't
and
have a lot of
Nebulon,
time.
do you remember what time we're supposed to go find the
So
caravan?
it's
that
not
we
dawn
signed up for?
tomorrow morning, it's the morning
Next day.
after that you're heading
Okay.
out. However, you
Okay.
are all aware that seemingly the cult of the dragon will be arriving in the city tomorrow.
Shit.
I believe that it might be worth at least a little bit of exploration. we could definitely spend a good maybe hour here just preparing for it, and we can head over there if you like. But I'm not intending on fighting anyone. I think it's
Oh,
better
you're
to,
not. I'm looking to get my hands a little bit dirty today.
I'll have your back
We
if
should
needs be.
also consider that
Me too. And if
there
I
is
get
input.
to,
Sorry.
There is something I want to ask. Harper. And he turns to one of the Harper. You said there was an attack last night. And this is meant to be a safe house. Have you perhaps heard anything about the Harper Quilliam? He was supposed to
You
meet us
see-
back, and he hasn't.
You see, one of them looks at the other. That's the name that Leosin gave us, but we haven't heard from him yet. We assume that one of your number must have been Quilliam.
Yes.
He's
yes.
He was.
He was supposed to meet us here, no?
Well,
We were
he
gonna
is
meet
the
back
one that
at the
got
Blushing
us
Mermaid.
Back at the
Mermaid.
Blushing
Audience.
Mermaid.
Oh, is it back in the Blushing Mermaid? That's it.
You know what else is happening at the Blushing Mermaid? Talus the White, who wanted another person assassinated, she said she would meet us there if we wanted to. I mean, it's risky, but
Torena, I am not putting you in danger with that killing contract.
I don't
am
want to
not
kill
going
anyone.
back
But
there. She was asking for me to kill someone. I am more interested in the person she wants me to kill.
yeah, but we might gather information if we talk to her.
That's
I
if the
would
hit's not
suggest.
taken.
It sounds like our purposes are reconnaissance this night. I am. You actually
Reconnaissance and
caught me
infiltration.
on my way out, so I am ready when you are.
What did you want to gather information about?
Oh, I was going to look further into Jihira's disappearance, so this.
Did you have a place you wanted to go to first?
Here was my place to ask the question. So I'm glad you came because I did not have. We did not really. I turned to the other two. We did not really have any more concrete lead, but thank you for you brought to our
not about the
attention this
name.
price.
Yes.
Yes.
Name may have helped. It may be nothing. I mean,
It is a lead, my friend. Any needle in a haystack.
if I was to recommend a place, the only. I mean, Geraldus, is there anything in. Well, the most recent acquisition by Mr. Blackguard was Hamhock Slaughterhouse. It's one of the larger establishments. It also has a.
Is that where we walked past?
It also has a rather large.
Meat locker?
What's the word? Yes, in the basement.
Yeah, that's yeah, that sounds about where I would keep someone if I was holding them.
So the same people have Jahira and Grenar. They might be together even.
That would be the best
Kept.
case scenario. Either way, we'll need to move soon. We have at least some kind of hope. Especially for
in
the
that
fact
case-
Jahira's missing.
Right, well, fuck it. In that case, at which point you see Nebulon going towards his belt. He will throw out what looks to be the starlight projections. He'll go, no, that's not it. At which point then he throws it back in, and he closes his eyes, at which point he holds out his hand, and all of you see for a second his strength leaves him as he burns a first level spell slot. You then see what looks to be almost like a purple nebula cloud around his feet swirling and almost project up into the crystal. He's then going to use his 3 sorcery points to regain a second level spell slot instead.
What did you just
Right.
do?
I'm not sure actually. I feel as if I could.
You
could
never really know
transfer
what
some
you're
things.
doing, but you're doing cool stuff all the
I
time.
don't, but it is fine. The more that I do things, the better I get.
That's
For
fair.
now, I'm ready.
Just out of curiosity, does everyone have the stuff that we're going to need if we do get into trouble? Do we have potions? Do we have... I take it
I
not.
think we have one potion we haven't been using since the cavern.
I gave it to Quill. I'm sorry.
Well, listen,
Has it?
I was going to do this earlier, but Serena, could I borrow you for a second, please?
Like right here?
Well, if you wouldn't mind, you can introduce it later on, but I wanted to give you this. I've been keeping this for a while.
Okay.
Right, at which point I'll go into my inventory and I will pull out what looks to be... It's like a... How do I describe this? It's kind of like, like in a science lab, like a chemistry set. It's almost like a wooden ladle with like half crescent moons cut out as you see what looks to be like a potion set or like a healing vial set. Not quite with healing potions, but they have various different labels and dyes and glitters and things. It's like if you want to make your own potions. You mentioned you were going to try to do this someday. So I got a customizable kit. I thought it might be useful to you.
That's so cool. Do you know what's in here right now? Or is that part of the challenge that I have to figure it out?
I think it's more cosmetic than anything, but...
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know.
So I can make glittery health
Are there things in there
potions.
that could influence that? I was doing it more for a cosmetic purpose, but...
Maybe.
Well, actually, you know what? I don't know. But either way, it can change the color, it can change the viscosity, it can change whatever you want. It is all yours. Here, take it.
Wow. Thank you so much. That's amazing.
all right.
When did you get this?
I
That's so
got
nice.
it while doing some shopping. I've got one. Don't tell anyone. I've got everyone one thing. I wanted to give the Rail his.
Oh man, I'm so bad at
Definitely
keeping secrets.
Vilka
Can you give it
his as
to
well.
us too?
Vilka did not know what to do with it. He was quite shell-shocked by
Oh,
it.
I do get the feeling that Vilk has never received a gift in his life.
I believe
It's
so.
really
He
sad.
did not know what to do with himself.
Harpers.
No.
Sorry to
Enjoy.
interrupt. Harpers, do you have any spare health potions lying around for some gold? It could be 2 or 3, perhaps.
I'm afraid we don't. We used most of them last night after the attack.
I thought as much.
You could
It's understandable.
speak to Danthalon upstairs. He might have something.
Oh.
You guys hold on if you want to. I'm gonna go and I want to make sure we're prepared this time. I don't want to be caught with my trousers around my ankles again. So I'm gonna head up and speak to, what was it, Danthalon?
Danthalon. Enthal Danthalon.
Danthalon.
You can see at this point he's sort of like stacking shelves. You can see he's organizing a small group of like short swords and things of that nature. You see like a stack of newspapers that he's organizing on the counter with a small little 5 copper pieces sign in front of it. Oh God! What? Sorry. How can I help?
Well, that was a bit of a change up, but do you have any potions in exchange for gold?
What kind of potion?
Just standard potions, maybe up to greater, if anything.
I had a gentleman who traded some in today. I have 2 or 3, maybe.
That would be
Give me a
perfect.
second. You see, he sort of like heads into a back room. You hear a few sort of like things being like displaced. While you're sort of like standing at the counter, Rail, just give me a perception check.
I will give you one with disadvantage. It's not bad though, actually, considering. That is a 13.
Cool. As you're sort of like looking around, you can see through the windows what looks like night has finally fallen. You can see there's a strange amount of people still out at this time, weirdly enough, in the early evening. You can see a few people like around Worm's Crossing taking shelter in like alleyways and the balconies. Looks like people are sleeping rough outside, a fair few of them. You can see the sort of like stack of the Baldur's Mouth newspaper sort of like sat on the counter next to you, and a variety of displays of pre-owned items all surrounding you.
Suppose I'll have a mosey on these items that are around me then.
Cool. Anything in particular catching your eye?
Are there any like leather armors or I don't know, eye patches or something like that?
So there's a few sets of like basic armor. Most of it looks very well used and like well worn. There's some leather armor. There's a couple of pieces of like chainmail armor. There's like a single breastplate and things like that. Again, it's a lot of scuffed like pre-owned stuff, but it's functional. It'll still work.
Is there specifically a leather chest piece, like a black leather chest piece, or?
You see a few minutes later, Enthal sort of like comes out, and you can see he's got two sort of like vials of like red liquid and a single one of blue liquid. You can see he sort of like placed them on the counter. Right, anything else for you?
I've seen the have you got any black leather chest pieces by chance?
I have a few pieces. Are you thinking leather or studded leather?
Probably studded leather, actually.
Give me another second. He heads back into the back.
Abulon, can you send Rail a message, ask if he can buy 25 gold pieces worth of silver dust?
I'll say that the rest of, I'll say if the plan is to head to Southfoot, the rest of you sort of like head up as well. If you will.
Oh, hey guys.
You see, as you're sort of leaving Adewale, the Harpers sort of like come up to you. Be safe. If anything goes wrong, make sure you can at least get a message to us to tell us what happens.
I'm nothing but swift, my friend. I am prepared to run if need be.
And you see,
Stay safe, and I grip their shoulders, and blessings of Ilmater to you.
and to you, I suppose.
Oh, you don't have it. It's you
I don't know
have
what the
to.
religious custom is. I hope he's
it's
good
fine.
to you. You see
Always
Gerald
is.
sort of like awkward look. Incredible. And as you're going up, you can hear the sounds of like Enthal in the back, like looking through a few things, and you can see that Rail's just sort of like leaning against the counter.
Did you find an eye patch?
Are there eye patches?
I don't have any eye patches, but I might be in luck. And you see he returns a few minutes later. He sort of like lays down a neatly sort of folded set of what looks like darker black, not quite black, but like really severely dark and like well worn and oiled studded leather armor. You see he sort of like places it on the counter in front of him. It's quite well worn, but it's still functional. You can see there's sort of like what looks like worn sort of brass studs all over it. Almost has like Witcher armor vibes in a certain way. You can see it hands it over to you, but for the use of it, I could do it for 30 gold pieces.
Would you trade it for this?
You see he puts on a small pair of like spectacles, sort of like walks around the counter to look. Yes. Oh, definitely, yes. I'll tell you what, I'll even throw in a copy of the Baldur's Mouth.
I was going to say if you could also discount some off of the potions as well, that would be appreciated.
Yes, of course. I mean, chain shirt, that variety, I'd probably sell it myself for about 40 gold pieces or so. So you can do the armor, and then do you want both of the health potions?
Yes, absolutely. Oh, and what's this blue one?
I'm not actually sure, to be honest. I found it in a chest that someone traded in a couple of days ago. Just threw it in with the potions.
It's appreciated.
Dealer's choice, I suppose.
May I have a look at it?
Please, go for it.
See if I can figure out what type of potion it is. She just kind of
Yeah, absolutely.
holds it up and, swishes it around. Just kind of studying it.
Well, as it's
Roll me an Arcana check. Roll me a Medicine or Arcana check.
and as it's for free as well, I'm just going to try and seal the deal before
27.
she says what the potion is.
27.
Is that a nat 20?
If you had to guess by the sort of general viscosity of the liquid, the sort of like light cerulean blue color that it have,
It's something that you've read about a couple of times. Looks like it's an item known as a filter of love. Mechanically speaking, the creature that drinks this potion will be charmed by the next creature it sees within 10 minutes for a duration of an hour.
You just want to fuck with us, don't you?
A love potion of all things. How quaint.
Well, that sounds.
So with the discount from your armor, with the studded leather armor thrown in and the 3 potions, I could probably say for the lot, 75 gold pieces.
We are going to be looking for Jaheira as well if there's a Jaheira discount, but if not, I'm more than happy to say 75.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, baby. Wait, what's my persuasion? +1. 17.
Sweetabix.
I'll do it for 50 if you take it and go.
I hand
Hey.
over the 50 gold and I... Well, of course, I'm doffing my armor first, putting it on the counter,
Absolutely.
putting the other one on.
He sees as you hand the money over, he's going to start taking it off of you and polishing it as he's doing it. Alright, size medium, I'd say. Yeah. Reasonably well
I'm just going to
maintained.
hold a hand over where I got dug in the ribs, though.
A little bit damaged. That's fine. Wow, somebody really knew what they were doing there. Slipped it right into the folds.
Wasn't pleasant, but I'm standing.
Yes. You've suffered a great deal most recently, haven't you, my friend?
It's not been friendly here in Baldur's Gate, I can say that for much.
Honestly,
Okay.
everyone has been kind of shit here.
Yeah, I agree.
I
Yeah.
thought it was gonna be
It is
fun.
the usual
Yeah.
Baldur's Gate greeting.
Yes, no offense to our illustrious guest, but I am not well suited to cities. And I shall leave it at that.
That's
Likewise,
fair.
I understand.
They're all just as pleasant as the other.
Who's taking the potions? So 2 healing potions and a filter of love.
I'll be handing one to Vilka, and I'll be handing one to Serena, and the potion, the light blue
I don't
potion,
know if I can heal
A
people.
love
Maybe
potion.
you can, but if you're using your spells on everyone else, it's better to have an emergency for yourself as well.
Okay. Okay. I'll
Especially because if you die, none of us can put you back up more or less, or maybe just Nebulon. Adewale, who knows?
And in which case, Serena, I want you safe. You take this one.
Okay. By the way, does this count as a short rest? Because I have 1 hit point.
I'll say that during this time you kind of taken a short rest. Yeah.
Yay, sure.
Who's say-
walking around paranoid.
just so I'm aware right now, because I know where this is going to lead at some point. Who's taking the filter of love?
Am I right to take
Rail's
it,
got the
guys?
filter of love.
I mean, none of us know what it is except for Kyra,
I mean-
right? So,
I mean,
TPK.
I wasn't gonna use it, but I just for safekeeping, just in case somebody.
I'm just going to come
I-
over to you and just nudge you and just go, hey, what is this?
That is a love potion.
A what?
A love potion. I've read about them many times. Actually, had a teacher of mine use one
Oh,
on another teacher.
oh, interesting.
Was not fun. Was not fun. Was not fun.
Not fun for you or not fun for them?
Them.
Oh, that sounds horrible.
They. It messes with actual feelings of love. I don't care much for love potions.
Oh, that's very convenient. I will definitely hold on to this
Sounds
for the time
illegal,
being.
sort of.
Well, if I don't hear it, I don't know about it.
About what?
Good. Right, now, respectfully, get out.
Respectfully, fuck you. No problem. See you later.
And Kyra just glaring, say please, and then walk away.
Please, get out.
Right,
See?
so
Anyway.
now we have a few potions. We have, some backup at least if we're going. We have something to keep our healer alive.
Yep.
And with Vilka on the front line so much, I think it's probably better off that you have one as well.
That was the best choice, for sure.
Right. What do you think, Nebulon? Should we make tracks?
I believe we should. Let's head to the what was it? What warehouse was it again?
It was the Hamhock Slaughterhouse, if I'm not
That
mistaken.
was the one.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Really?
So we're gonna have to probably go out the entrance, head through Norchapel down to Whitkeep, and then we'll arrive in So's Foot at the slaughterhouse. So we'll need to make sure that we're keeping sharp eyes out to see if our friends notice us on the way.
Leon? And Kyra will just kind of snap and make sure he's out of
Everyone.
and kind of on her shoulder.
Yep.
You know what?
Incredible.
Just give me a second. As we're walking, my eyes will roll into the back of my head. Now, I can't hear at this point because I'm too far and I can't give Luminari commands, but I can still see through Luminari's eyes. I'll see where she is at that point.
So it seems like she sort of like perched herself on like the rafters of the ship by the bay window looking into the room. As you sort of like peer through the eyes, you see a familiar figure. You can see the long sort of like brown hair, the red robes. You can see he's sealing a letter with wax and leaving it on a desk.
Wait, where is he? Is Luminari?
He's inside the room in the Blushing Mermaid.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
Oh,
All
we
I need.
left him behind.
I'll then come back. Interesting.
Anything?
Nothing too major.
See anything?
Nothing major out of place anyway. At the moment.
Anything to
Are
be
you guys making
concerned
your way?
about?
I think so.
Yeah.
Would there be anything to be concerned about with that?
No, it just looks like Quill's leaving a note in the room.
Wait, that was sorry, Quill.
Yes,
Yeah.
Quill.
Right.
Yeah,
my
that was
apologies.
cool.
For a second, I honestly, genuinely thought.
Sorry
that
for
it
pushing
was...
that so hard. I didn't think you
No,
clocked
no,
on.
no.
Like, you're not gonna go.
I didn't clock on then because I don't see Quill's robes as red in my head. I
They're
think
like
it was more
an
It must be a different person.
Well,
then.
orange.
Disregard the artwork.
It's like, oh yeah, whatever. No.
I see it as quite an auburn, so yeah.
In that case, I think as soon as my eyes roll
Orange,
back, I
red.
say, it's cool.
Okay.
He's back in the room.
Oh,
Oh,
It looks like he's leaving a note.
Can you get
wonder where
Luminari
he's
to...
going.
I can't command Illuminati from this distance.
Okay. Well, that probably means that Quill has found passage.
and you sent him a message. Do you know the direction of the tavern? Can you do the message thing?
I can,
Tell him where we're
Way
going.
too far away.
I'll send the message regardless, and then
I'm not a-
I don't think I know the distance. Nothing. I'm too far away. I'm sorry.
Either way, Quill can take care of himself. Let's just head to So's Foot and just... I'm sorry, guys. I don't want to waste any more time than we have.
It's understandable, Rail.
Worried about.
And as annoying as you know who is, we do need to get him back, so.
Anti-hero.
Isn't it weird that I kind of miss him?
Yeah, that's weird.
Oh, of
It's
course, just
oddly
me then.
quiet without him around.
It is. And
Oddly.
he still owes me gold as well, so that's the main reason. Let's
Yeah,
go.
he still owes me coal too.
He owes you See,
So-
no.
As you guys are walking down Worms Crossing, you eventually find yourselves in the Twin Songs. As you sort of like venture in, Adewale, you would sort of like have a decent amount of familiarity with this particular neighborhood. It tends to be the sort of like more renowned borough for shrines and temples and places of worship, as it were. Most of it's a lot of like roadside altars and like idols for like small homely based temples. You can usually get a lot of like the people who are passing through here more than anything. One thing that starkly strikes almost all of you at this point is all of the churches have fully sealed their doors in the sort of like early hours of the evening. As you sort of like pass by, you see these sort of like humble like temples and homesteads. A lot of them have signs on the outside which read full. And you can see that there are various sort of like people sleeping rough. You can see a lot of people sort of like using like makeshift blankets, sort of like hiding themselves beneath like these strange like towered structures, trying to build some kind of shelter for the evening. There's a few moments sort of like, as you're like walking through the Twin Songs, eventually a couple of what look like
halfling children sort of like run towards you. You can see that they're still dressed in what look like working leathers, for lack of a better term. You can see that they're using like an apron as a scarf, like wrapped around their neck. They're still wearing what look like almost like plasticky type shirts that would be used in like a butcher's. One of them sort of like runs up and tugs on your robe, Adewale, and says, "Excuse me, sir. Any chance you could spare a few copper?"
Yes, my lad. And I'll just straight up give a gold piece to each of them. You take that and you help your friends and family. There is much need going around.
Thank you, sir. God bless you.
And before you
like
leave, kids, looks like you've got some butcher's gear on, right? Are you from the Hamhock Slaughterhouse by chance?
Oh, not Ham Hocks, no. We're from Steadfast next door. It's our dad's old butcher's.
Oh, okay. Just a weird question. I don't suppose you've ever seen a load of like weird people. You know what weird people look like going into into Hamhocks?
Oh, we haven't been there in a while. Dad's butchery got bought out from underneath him about a month ago.
Oh, really? Who by? I know this
We're
is
not
probably a
sure.
lot.
They just the fist came in and kicked us all out.
Where do you live now?
Yeah.
He points to what looks like an old sort of like disused merchant stall that's been tipped on its side and has like a small like piece of fabric over the top of it with some like sheets and things inside. In there.
And I'll put a hand on their shoulders and I'll say, look, you've just been given a lot of money. Make sure you keep it hidden and make sure you look after your dad, okay?
We will. Don't worry.
Also, we were never here. See you later. And I'm just going to immediately I'm just going to start marching towards Hamhocks.
As you guys
I give them a sign before I walk up. I give a sign of a blessing before I carry on.
You see they sort of smile, look a little bit confused, and wave you away. As you guys sort of like,
just like waving back, bye, sweeties. Just...
As you guys twist around Duskhawk Hill, you eventually find yourself going into the downward slope. You eventually find yourselves in the neighborhood of So's Foot. You can see the sort of like industry around you, and it sort of quiets in this particular area. Which catches your attention first is that So's Foot is comparatively oddly quiet. You can see large disused warehouses, other than the sound of like random cattle still outside in their pens, just the odd of a cow. Immediately as your feet sort of like touch the dip in the actual like valley itself, the mud and the sort of like refuse and waste products of slaughterhouses sort of comes up towards your ankles, and you can like smell the scent of like decay and like rotting meat.
I wonder
Was
if...
it
Gonna
the
take
same
Rail's
smell?
the hood up, just put it up. It's like, stay hidden.
Was it the same
Thank
smell
you.
with near the cigarette butts by any chance?
Leor's nose sort of like perks up at this point, Kyra, and you get the impression that the scent isn't dissimilar. In fact, it's very similar.
Yep.
Looks like we're in the right spot then. That's
And
positive.
she'll just kind of, you know, scratch him on the ear like, good boy.
Well, the good news is, guys, I no longer have chainmail, so I can be a hell of a lot quieter now.
Oh.
Are you guys going to move stealthily towards Hamhocks?
Oh yeah.
I mean, we
Yes.
got it, alright.
Everyone go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Okay.
Please.
Oh, why do you have a +1?
Damn it.
In fact,
10.
Sorry. 8.
That was the perfect time for a nat 20.
Hey.
That's a 26 from Rail.
10.
26 from Rail.
over
Serena.
8.
Oh.
8 from Serena. And Adewale.
17. I've got to turn off GM rules.
Oh, amazing. Kyra.
10.
Nebulon?
10 from Neb.
Nebulon?
10.
10. And Vilka?
It's a 9.
We're doing real bad, guys.
I mean, I'm stealthy.
Yeah, the rest of us are fucked.
As you guys begin to sort of like take towards the back streets, again, the smell of this place and the stark silence of it is jarring. Compared to everywhere else in Baldur's Gate and the surrounding outer city, it's eerie. You see several disused warehouses and slaughterhouses. You can see various pens of cattle, pigs and sheep and cows. And one thing that catches all your attention is that they appear to be strangely malnourished looking. The cows, you can sort of see the ribs sticking to the flesh. The sheep are like overgrown with wool and matted with dirt. And the pigs are sort of like eating anything they can find on the floor, including their own waste at this point. And eventually you see a large complex of pens and barns and abattoirs. This enormous napery in the center of So's foot. You see a sign hanging over a gate leading into the complex reading Hamhock Slaughterhouse. Immediately you can smell this omnipresent iron, like pure boiled distilled blood just constantly sort of hanging in the air. You can see that the door to the sort of like main section of the complex, it's this large barn door, it's like a shutter, which is open currently.
Probably best we have a peek.
Agreed.
Wait.
You seem to have a knack for this stealth, at the very least. But the both of you, I'll gesture over to Adewale and to Rail. I think I'm making a little bit too much noise. Why don't you two take a peek?
Quick question. Are there any windows or anything?
So, the way the complex looks is you have the large slaughterhouse in the center of it. To the immediate right of it, you have what looks like two large sort of like cattle barns. And to the left of it, what appears to be like a collection of pens. And you can see various, like, specifically it looks as though it's red meat animals. So it's a lot of cows sort of like just spread out in these sort of pens. But in terms of the slaughterhouse itself, it looks as though it's 2 stories. The bottom of it is almost open plan. You can see immediately, like just coming near it, you can see into it. It is dark inside. It looks like there's a lot of like large processing machinery in there. Up at the top, you can see what looks like a bowed sort of like steel roof, and there appears to be like an office building of some kind in there. Does appear to be windows, which are currently open, but it's about 15 feet up.
My friend, I turn to Rhea. If you check and peek through the door, I will take a look in the window.
It must be great being so tall, huh?
Not quite. And I take off a essentially like light jog, and as I hit the wall, I just keep my feet hit the wall, and I keep running up vertically, and I essentially stop and crouch in front of the window with my head just peeking over the top so I can look inside.
Incredible. And as you sort of like move towards the side and begin to move up the wall, all of you see an almost like it does not break Adewale's step at all. As soon as his feet sort of hit the corner, it's almost like gravity itself shifts around him. You see a faint illumination of runes on the sort of like sole of his feet as he easily scales up the wall and onto the roof of Hamhock Slaughterhouse.
Rail's just standing there like, what did I just witness? I've seen dragons, I've seen kobolds, I've seen greenest fall, and I've never seen this before in my life.
Whatever it is, I want to be taught that.
Wow.
So as I'm staring there, I'm gonna crouch down myself, imagine what it would be like to be able to do that, and then I'm gonna poke my head around the barn door and just see if I can get a glimpse.
We'll start with you, Rail. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
With disadvantage.
Oh.
That's an 8.
So,
you can see what appears to be a few different instruments here. You can see towards the back there is a section which is completely dedicated to killing platforms. Essentially, it's connected to the sort of like pens, and you can see where the door is opened, a cow is led through. They stand on a steel plate with a guttering around it, and they would be slaughtered and then left to sort of like bleed out there before they are moved to a large machine in the center, which sort of like is, without going into graphic detail, to chunk the meat properly.
A dicer.
As you sort of like, a dicer. As you sort of like peek your head around and like look over, it's very dark on the inside, especially now night has fallen around.
I have night vision.
If you wanted
dark
a
vision.
proper look, you do have dark vision. However, you also have one eye.
That is true.
So, without moving in to the actual complex itself, it would be hard to get a proper good read on like when the last time this place was used, what's been going on here, and things like that.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to poke my head through a little bit further and just kind of look up and around me just to make sure there's no one who would be able to get the immediate jump on me as soon as I walk through the door.
Cool. Roll me a perception check.
Oh, baby, a triple. That is 9 plus 4, so that's 13.
That's 13. Again, sometimes the shadows sort of like cast themselves as the very faint amount of moonlight beams through the sort of like divide between the roof and like edge of the wall. There are shadows that sort of like move, but in a second, it's very obvious that they're sort of like some kind of bird, something like that, flying from the outside. Doesn't appear to be anybody in here.
Okay, I'm going to look back towards the party and I'm going to just gesture to say I'm going in further.
What did he say? He's going in?
Mhm.
Oh, shit. Okay, right. At that part, I'll creep towards and also try and just remain as quiet as possible and approach the entranceway just in case something goes wrong.
Cool.
And
Meanwhile, Adewale, as you sort of like land on the actual roof of this place yourself, you quickly sort of like make your way over to the like the clear sort of like office building where it sort of like raises up from the roof and has a separate sort of thing. Are you going in, or are you just peering through the window?
Peering through first.
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Okay. That is a 19.
As you sort of like peer in, you can see what looks like a reasonably simple looking office, for lack of a better term. It's one singular sort of like wide room. You can see like a decently well made like wooden desk towards the back with a big sort of like leather armchair behind it. You can see what looks like a bookshelf, various documents and sort of like decorations, for lack of a better term. You can see what looks like a couple of little trophies and stuff like that dotted about. Interestingly enough, on a 19, what catches your attention is the window that you're sort of like peering through is open, and there's like a almost like a small sort of side table, sort of like running the length of the wall that you're looking on. There's a bunch of documentation that's sort of like spread out and organized on there, and it looks like at some point a gust of wind has blown it onto the floor and just has been left, as if nobody's been in here to look it over or clean it up for a decent amount of time.
Okay. Not seeing anybody inside, Adewale is going to climb through the window quietly and essentially take a quick perusal of those documents, not touching them, but just taking a look at them.
Incredible. Roll me an investigation check, please, Adewale.
Okay. That is an 8.
Incredible. As you start to go through the documentation, your feet hit the floor. And you being so nimble and so sort of like attuned to this sort of like work, you know, sort of like working in the shadows, sort of like moving silently and moving with purpose and determination. One thing that catches your interest is as your feet hit the floor inside the office, dust immediately sort of like sets up around you. A reasonably thick layer of dust by the looks of it. You sort of pick up some of the documentation. A lot of it is like order sheets and like what looks like mercantile requests and things like that. Nothing of any particular like interest. But the thing that catches your attention is there's not even a break in the coating of dust where the door would have been opened. Nobody's been in this office for at least a month.
Gotcha. No, I'm not going to disturb the door. I'm going to head back out the window, and I'll be making my way back outside to the entrance with the rest.
Making my way
Incredible. So-
downstairs. Sorry.
Who's going inside of the slaughterhouse with Rail?
I
I'll
guess
go
I'll be
with-
going with Rail.
But yeah.
Cool. I'll say Rail as you're about to step inside.
I do just want to say
Adewale.
I have my short sword and my dirk drawn.
As you're
Oh.
about to step inside, Adewale, I'll say that you easily scale back down and sort of like rejoin the others.
Yeah. At the very least, the office has not been disturbed in quite some time. It's as if nobody has occupied it.
I guess they're not using it then, or
And if they're not using it, the animals that we saw, this is just a hunch. They're probably not being fed.
I mean,
Or-
it looks like it.
By
We
the
should
looks of
save
it, yeah.
them. We should, but I guess afterwards maybe.
It's clear that it was not purchased for its economic use. I
Agreed.
fear whatever we find on the ground is what is the true purpose of this place.
I agree. And
That
Agreed.
meat hole or whatever they called it. The meat basement.
the meat locker, yeah.
Yeah, that thing.
Well,
Are we going in?
I would say so.
am I
Until
still
we can conf-
stealth, DM?
Yep, yeah, I'd say that you're all still stealth.
Cool.
What I would like you all to do as you step inside, everybody go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
I was gonna say, could I pat Adewale on his back and just be like, Bahamut
17.
is watching over you too, and then give you guidance?
Yes,
Thank you
you
very
certainly
much.
can.
Hey.
Nat 20, baby.
17.
14.
20.
Good
No.
rolls.
So I rolled a 4. Let's see how much guidance adds to this.
It's gonna save everything.
Either way, DM, I'm probably going to check for traps before I actually cross the threshold.
It's 5 in total for me.
Oh no.
For the sake of brevity, I'll say this. Adewale, as you sort of like step in, immediately, Rail, your fears of it being trapped are dissuaded, as Adewale is not immediately exploded or sliced by any sort of trapped blade that might have been left. On the contrary, as you all step inside, your confidence that you're alone grows. And I'll say that all of you start to sort of like look around the slaughterhouse itself. And interestingly enough, you can see the large sort of like processing machine that sort of like works as a dicer. It's mechanical in nature, so it appears as though it would need several people to sort of like wind a crank physically. Quite hearty individuals to sort of like pull the corpse of an animal through there to then dice it up with these sort of like blades. I'll say, Vilka, as you sort of like look over the machine with Nebulon, the thing that you notice is this machine is covered in rust. There's almost no way that it's even usable in the current state that it's in. Serena and Kyra, I'll say that you start to look over at some of the sort of like large desks that have been placed that are used most likely to sort of like remove the head and the unusable meats of the animals and things of that. The blood on these desks is dry, long dried. It's sort of like brown, almost black, and
Like a
you
month
can see
kind of dry.
looks like it's old,
Old.
maybe even longer. And
Oh.
something that catches your eyes is the large pile of offcuts, as it were, that are sort of like dumped into a large sort of like slight indent into the ground. There's like a lot of flies around. It just zzz. And you can immediately, as you get close, smell it. You have to cover your noses.
Oh, God.
This meat has been here for a while,
and has spoiled.
I'm surprised there's still meat, actually. Oh.
Ugh.
On a natural 20
I mean,
rail. We'll come to you in a minute.
sorry.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say if it was fresh, maybe feeding it to the pigs would be best, but
I mean, is it? Can't they get mad cow disease? Mad pig disease? Mad...
no,
Pigs will
no,
eat
mad
anything.
cow is the.
Pigs have iron
They will.
stomachs.
I mean,
They will eat each other if.
Oh, I don't
They've been
like
known
that
to eat
at all.
metal as well.
Really, I didn't know that.
They'll eat anything that's in their trough. They'll try.
Adewale and
I-
Rail, I'll say as the two of you take the easternmost side of the slaughterhouse, you sort of look over the killing platforms. You can see that there's sort of like a metal sort of like plate that's slightly raised with a drain around it to sort of like catch the blood that would fall when an animal is killed. You sort of like look over them, and again you can see that the blood that is on here and stains it is old. It's sort of like brown to the touch, and you can actually see like filling the sort of like drains underneath. They are like full to the brim of blood, to the point where it's actually like spilling over a little bit onto the platform, and like the slightest movement of the ground sends a little like bit of it back onto the platform and away. On a natural 20 rail, the one on the far right, it seems, does not have any blood in the grate. In fact, it's conspicuously empty.
Cool. Can I go over to it and see if it's possible to move it just by pushing?
I'll say that as you sort of like, all of you hear the creak of the gate as Rail sort of like enters into the killing platform. You can see that sort of like on the wall next to them, there are these sort of like large, sort of like pump action bolt guns. And as you sort of like step foot on the platform, and you take a step back and you sort of like reach a hand around the seam where it would reach the ground, and you lift it up.
Bingo.
You see a set of rickety wooden stairs leading far underground.
Adewale, you're not
At the
gonna jump
end-
this wall, alright?
At the end of which, you see a large iron door.
Well, that's ominous.
Very.
Lovely.
Do we see any, like, traces of footsteps towards this place or anything? Like, does it look like this has been in use recently, or...?
I'll say as you all sort of like convene around the stairs. There's no traces of footsteps. Because there's no dust. Because it has been
Oh.
used very frequently.
Immediately, I'm gonna put Leor back in the hood, just to be safe.
Alright.
We should be ready for anyone coming at any moment, probably.
I'm gonna go up to this door and I'm gonna have a look to see if it's been booby trapped in any kind of way.
Booby trap? Sorry. I don't know what that was.
Rail. As you step onto the first stair, it is rickety under your feet. Each one of the stairs at any point feels like it could give out underneath you. Eventually you reach the large iron door. It is tightly sort of like built into the stonework. You can see that it's almost like so tightly packed in, it looks as though it's completely sort of like airtight. As if anything that enters in here, much like what you'd expect from a freezer of some kind, would not escape. No smell, no sound, nothing. Roll me an investigation check, Rail, as you sort of look over the door.
The music. It's so ominous.
Investigation. That's a 21.
So you sort of like look at the door. It's not
trapped. In fact, it's not even locked.
I don't like that.
As he's about to go in, I think Nebula will put his hand on Rael's shoulder. This
Wait, are we all down there?
He was wearing the symbol of Bane, correct?
Correct.
The way that I see it, the Baneites, they seem to be the more organized of the trilogy of death gods, correct?
I would have thought so.
If he is a nobleman and he was able to purchase this out and he is part of that, then let's assume that the entire cult is down here. So in that case, anything we want to do to prepare, I think now is the time.
I don't have anything to get any spell slots back. I already used it. I already used Arcane Recovery because I did the,
You see,
I'll
Rael
poop
takes a
a
very...
guidance on Rail, just in case you need to do anything.
You see Rael taking a few big deep breaths, and just before he goes to open the door, you see that his hands are just shaking quite violently. He is in a mix of adrenaline, he's a mix of fear. So many different emotions are going through Rael's head right now. He doesn't want to open this door and see Renard just dead on the ground. And I'll just turn around to look to everyone and just say, do you guys want to take up positions, or should we just see what's through here together?
I've got it. At which point I will activate my starry form, and I'll use the form of the archer.
In the darkness, the starlight is a comforting glow.
I think Adewale will situate himself close by to you and sort of like crouch, not so much crouch down, but getting in a ready sort of stance to take off. Sort of not quite a runner's stance, but close to it, with his spear and holding both hands.
And Kyra is going to ready a firebolt.
And Vilka will just unsheathe his long sword and short sword.
All right.
Shield. Wickedly curved blade.
And probably.
Would you like to open the door?
Yeah, let's open the door.
As your hand settles, you open the handle and there's a pop as you open the airtight door and it sort of releases. As you look inside, something drops in your stomach. This first chamber reeks of iron and blood. The smell is intoxicating and nearly knocks you off your feet. Rot and decay. You can see large hooks dangling from the ceiling. Butchered and massacred humanoid torsos pincered through them. In the center, a heavy steel butcher's table. Its surface deeply scarred and stained dark. You can see what look like piles of corpses, humanoid. 7 feet tall, 8 feet tall, all over this place. Faces twisted into distorted horror. You can see people. Eyes removed, jars filled with internal organs, still pumping hearts.
the
By
fuck?
the boned one.
Just gonna take Kyra's hand, squeeze it real hard.
She'll do the same and just kind of lean in. If all else fails, we have the pigs upstairs. It's just a matter of getting to them.
What creatures do these look like?
Oh, they are definitely humans.
Oh, you said like 7-8 feet tall. Are they
Oh no,
special?
those are no, they're the piles. That's how tall the piles of corpses go.
Oh, that's way better, of course. Oh,
Thinking in.
delightful.
I'm gonna take a
How
look.
recent they look, deceased.
Very recently. Some of them, anyway. The ones at the top of the pile look recent.
Do they look
The ones
like
at
the
the
homeless
bottom.
people around, or?
Much less
Oh,
so.
God.
As you walk deeper into the chamber, you can see almost preserved
Excuse me.
corpses lying on the ground and on tables, cages, piles of bones, and a single ominous door on the eastern side of the chamber.
Before I go over to the door, I want to check these. I don't want to, but I'm going to check these piles of bodies just to see if it's only piles of bodies.
Cool. What are the rest of you doing at this point?
I'd like to see if there are any identifying sort of marks on any of the bodies. Like, do they look like they belong to a certain group of people, or anyone who's recognizable in any way?
Adwale will be spreading out over the room, making sure there's nobody hidden, and like often taking disturbed glances at the piles. Not one to like. I feel like he's avoiding getting too close because he fears he might recognize some of the people there.
Vilka, what about you? The map is
Vilka will-
also live if anyone hasn't already seen it.
Vilka will just like make a few steps inside the chamber and just looking overall at the whole massacre, just stand silent and just blankless expression and just looking over the different piles.
Kyra?
She's just staring at it. It's morbid. It's like a morbid, like, it's terrifying, but you can't look away from it.
And Nebulon.
I think Nebulon is. Regrettably, he's with part of the same morbid curiosity, checking to see if he can actually identify any of the more recent corpses. That's what he'll be doing.
As you're sort of looking over, I'll say that you've made your way to the north of the chamber. And the thing that catches your attention is the crates. The crates filled with the personal effects of the deceased, seemingly. You can see piles of clothes and what look like sort of like weapons and things of that nature. You also see a table filled with wicked tools. You see blades, large saws, scalpels, cleavers. It's at this point, Rail, as you sort of approach the furthest pile, all of you hear, and the door is slammed shut behind you.
No.
We are stupid. Guys?
That does not bode well, my friend.
No, it does not.
Be on your guard.
I think
Agreed.
Adewale is going to Is that a door? Oh,
It is a door.
sorry. Didn't realize that would happen. I think Adewale is going to head up to the wall and sort of move to stand over the door. So he's not at the door, he's over it currently. Sort of
As you're
guarding
all
it to see if anybody comes through it.
And as you're all looking over the corpses, some of them are mutilated beyond any recognition. Rael, you crouch at the furthest back pile.
Are you making noises?
Hello, no friends. Oh, oh, look at you, so fresh. Oh, so beautiful. Oh, yes. Oh, so much skin and blood and bones. Oh, oh, my friends, I have been waiting for specimens like you. But first, my friend would like to play. And Rail, the pile of bodies before you,
Oh.
squirms. 7 feet hit the ground. 7 more. 7 more. And a mound of corpses stretches upwards. 17 faces at the front of it scream out at you, and I would like everyone to roll initiative for me, please.
Oh god.
Boy.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
As the creature spurns into being, you watch as this gambling mound of corpses stands before you. 17 hands form one enormous thing, and it strikes out towards you, Rael, with an unearthly. I will pick up there next week.
That is not fair.
It's terrifying.